and 62, but with 10 wins in their last 12 outings. For the Rangers, it's the regular lineup against a right-handed pitcher. That would be Nomar Mazara in right, followed by Ian Desmond in center, and Carlos Beltran, the designated hitter. Adrian Beltre, the third baseman, bats cleanup. Beltran and Odor is in the 5-hole. He's at second base. Jonathan Lucroy catching and hitting 6th. Mitch Moreland batting 7th, playing first base. Carlos Gomez, the former Astro, in left. Gomez is batting 8th, and Elvis Andrus is the number 9 batter, and Andrus is at shortstop. Calling the balls and strikes will be Hunter Wendelstadt, veteran umpire from Atlanta. Scott Barry is at first base. Jerry Lane, the crew chief, is at second, and Alan Porter is at third. A.J. Griffin, Arthur Joseph Griffin, wearing the number 64, out of the University of San Diego, working in short sleeves tonight. 18 starts for the year. Opposing batters hitting .251 with righties batting just .219. So Hinch has stacked his lineup with left-handed hitters tonight. Faced the Astros back in April. Hasn't faced them since. Of course, spent about 2 months on the disabled list. He's coming off an outstanding outing against the Cleveland Indians. 6 5-hit shutout innings in which he broke a string of 11 consecutive starts in which he had allowed a home run in every one, a Rangers Club record. Gary Pettis is the third base coach for the Astros. Rich Dower coaches at first, and we're just about ready to go as George Springer makes his way to the plate. Springer, a .258 batter with 25 homers and 73 runs batted in. He has scored 99 runs this year. He is 4th in the league in runs scored. A.J. ready to go. He lets it fly. First pitch strike. Fastball away at 88 miles per hour. Bregman on deck, and then Altuve. Just a perfect evening for baseball. The pitch is swung on. There's a comebacker right to A.J. Gloves it waist high, flips to first, and that takes care of Springer. The official game time temperature brought to you by TXU Energy 3 nights. 1-866 call TXU. It is 85 degrees with the 4-mile-an-hour northeast breeze. Now Bregman hitting .237, 5 homers, 20 RBIs, but he has come alive at the plate after a rugged 1-for-32 start. He has a 15-game on-base streak right now and hitting over .320 during that time and averaging a run scored per game during that time. And Griffin chases him off the plate with a high inside fastball. You may see a lot of that tonight. A.J. likes to pitch inside, and against the Astros, the Rangers feel it's even more important. The pitch is swung on and belted. That's hit a mile to straightaway left, and that's a home run for Alex Bregman. Tremendous shot by Bregman after being brushed back on the previous pitch. He takes A.J. very, very deep. 6th home run for Bregman, and the 20th allowed by Griffin. It's 1-0 Houston in the first. And that had some distance on it, above that 14-foot-high wall. A tremendous shot on a fastball that didn't get far enough inside. And here comes Jose Altuve. Are you much into the exit velocity, Dave?
Well, I do enjoy it. I think it's interesting.
102 miles an hour on that one. 417 feet on a ball that was pulled pretty close to the line. And here's Altuve, and the pitch is a curve outside. Altuve leading the league in hitting at .351. 22 homers, 89 RBIs, leads in hits too. And the pitch is high for a ball. The National League leader in batting is DJ High Pockets LeMahieu. He's hitting .345. So Altuve's got him by 6 points. A 2-0 pitch. Wild cut and a miss on a 68-mile-an-hour curve. And it's 2-1 on Altuve. Altuve on the road has been something really special. He's hitting .411 on the road this year with an on-base percentage over .470. A little guy from Maracay, Venezuela, Elvis Andrus' hometown, and he rips a grounder foul past third base. The count is 2 balls and 2 strikes. The game brought to you by Globe Life, official life insurance of the Texas Rangers. Everyone has beneficiaries. Not everyone has life insurance. Find out more at globelifepark.com. Globe Life, who's your beneficiary? 1-0 Astros here in the first inning. It was their 166th home run of the year. Altuve pulls another one, foul past third base. The Astros 8th in the league in home runs. The Rangers are 4th with 177. The Rangers had a string of 8 straight games without allowing a home run come to an end Wednesday when Kyle Seager hit one in the 8th inning. 2 balls, 2 strikes. The pitch swung on and grounded foul past third again. That's 3 straight ground balls pulled foul behind the bag at third. AJ works off the third base side of the rubber. Throws the fastball in the high 80s. A change, a slow curve, and a cutter. And there's a fastball at 90 that just missed outside. And it's 3-2. AJ works in glasses, long blonde hair coming out from underneath the red cap. And he's wearing one of those gold ribbons tonight as part of the movement to stamp out childhood cancer. The pitch is high, ball 4, and Altuve is aboard. So Altuve works the walk. He doesn't get many, but he gets more than he used to. That's his 52nd of the year. And Carlos Correa will be the batter. Correa on a tear over the last 3 weeks, hitting over .320 with 20 RBIs in 21 games. Batting at .276, 19 home runs and 90 RBIs for the Astros shortstop. Altuve over at first with 26 stolen bases. He's third in the league this year behind Rajai Davis and Edwin Nunez. The pitch fouled off to the right. It is 0-1. Big rip there by Correa. Evan Gattis is the on-deck batter. Astros drawing first blood here tonight. Most of the games in this Lone Star Series this year have been close ones. 0-1 the count. Altuve out to the lead at first, being held by Moreland. Here's the pitch, and there's a strike. Rangers a double play depth with Odor and Andrews. Griffin has induced 8 double plays this year. He's much more of a fly ball pitcher than a ground ball guy. And as you can tell, he likes to work quickly. Comes to the belt and to the plate. And Correa loops one in the air to left. That's a base hit. Gomez in and toward the line. Altuve racing for third. Here's the throw by Carlos. It's cut off. Runners at first and third and 1 out. A soft line drive by Correa. Almost a low fly ball. Falling in there in short left. And with runners at first and third and 1 out, and the Astros already ahead 1-0, Evan Gattis will be the batter, hitting .247 with 22 homers and 56 runs batted in.
Well, that's one of those where it looked like Griffin, you talked about it earlier, wanting to pitch in, was coming in. I think really got in on Correa as much as perhaps he wanted to, but Carlos perhaps knew it was coming because he was able to open up, turn on that, and pull it into left field. It's tough coming on an 0-2 pitch.
Yeah.
Those are frustrating.
So Gattis, the batter, if he hits it on the ground, he's double play material. He's grounded into 10. The big bear from the right side out of that deep crouch. No batting gloves. Throw over to first, and Correa is back. Gattis has hit much better this year when he's been the catcher in a game as opposed to the designated hitter. The Astros have not gotten a lot of production out of their DHs this year. Griffin set, pushes off and comes home, and a slow curve is over for a strike. 0-1 the count on Gattis. Colby Rasmus, the on-deck batter. The newest Astro, Yulieski Gurriel, is not in the lineup tonight, with A.J. Hinch going with as many lefties as he can. 0-1. Here's the pitch, and that's fouled back. And again, Griffin ahead in the count at 0-2. Well, Doug Fister's the guy who's gotten the most run support among the Astros starting pitcher. He's also the guy who's pitched the best, and as a result, he leads their team and wins by 3. And he'll go to the mound with a lead tonight. 0-2 pitch, breaking ball, hit in the air, right center field. That'll score a run. Desmond glides into the alley and makes the catch in right center, and trotting home is Altuve. So it's 2-0 Houston in the first. For Altuve, his 95th run scored of the year. And Gattis picks up RBI number 57. Correa stayed at first on the play, and Colby Rasmus is coming up now. Rasmus, 3 for his last 56, but spent 3 weeks on the disabled list, had a cyst removed from his ear, came back, hit a home run in his first game back, did not go on a rehab assignment. He's hitting .212 overall, 13 homers, 49 runs batted in. Left-handed batter, Rangers overshift him, 3 on the right side, only Beltran on the left side, about 30 feet off the line. And the pitch crowds Rasmus. Fastball inside for ball 1. Ranger outfield dead straight away against this guy. They gap him with Mazzara in right and Gomez in left and Desmond dead center. Here's the 1-0, swung on and lifted foul down the left field line. This one slicing back out of play. That left field foul line is 332 here at Globe Life Park. It's 325 to right. 404 to the deepest part of left center, 407 to right center, 390 to the alley in left center with a 14-foot high wall, and the fence is 8 feet high the rest of the way around. 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 outs. The pitch inside Erasmus, and the count is 2-1. Day game tomorrow at 3:05 and a day game Sunday at 2:05 to finish off the homestand. Then the Rangers are off to Seattle, Anaheim, and Houston. AJ works 2-1, and the pitch is fouled off to the left again. The Astros facing a daunting schedule, as after this 3-game series, they will play the best team in baseball, the Chicago Cubs. They got the Indians in Cleveland and then the Cubs at home before the Rangers come in. It's a 4-game series against the Indians. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. The pitch, swing and a miss. He struck him out. The ball gets away. Lucroy picks it up out toward the mound, throws to first, just in time to get Rasmus. Slow curveball got him swinging, and Lucroy had to pounce on that to complete the strikeout. 2 runs, 2 hits, 1 left. After a half inning, it's Houston 2, and the Rangers coming up on the Texas.
Time to do what you love. John Deere was first in the Texas fields, and now we're proud to be on the field as the official tractor of the Texas Rangers. Save big at Austin Turf. Go to myjohndeerdealer.com/baseball. Terms, conditions, exclusions, and warranty limitations apply. See dealer for details.
It's 2-0 Houston. As the big chill, Nomar Mazara steps in to lead off the bottom of the first. Mass hitting .275, 15 homers, 51 RBIs. Doug Fister stands tall on the first base side of the rubber. Big over-the-top windup, and his pitch is in there for a strike. Fister out of Fresno State hails from Merced, California. He's listed at 6'8", 210. He's 32 years of age. Swings back to the wind, and the 0-1 pitch to Maz is outside and low. Bregman at third base, Correa at short, Altuve at second, and Reed at first with Castro behind the plate. Rasmussen left, Marisnik in center, Springer in right. They're way over toward left, and the pitch is outside, 2 balls and a strike. On the infield, Correa toward the middle at short, and Bregman off the line about 30 feet, but Altuve playing straight up at second. 2 balls and a strike, and the pitch to Mazzara. That's a strike over the inside edge. Like Griffin, Fister's fastball rarely even touches 90. He throws a lot of sinkers as well as 4-seamers. 2 balls, 2 strikes. There's a breaking ball line to right, a base hit. He hung a curveball there at 71, and Maz made him pay for it. A leadoff single for the Rangers, who are playing 2 runs down. Now keep in mind that Fister has induced 18 double plays this year, and that's a lot. Not by Martin Perez standards, but by the standards of just about any other pitcher in the league it is. And here's Desmond. Checks in with Spike Owen, the coach at third. Hector Ortiz, the first base coach, walks over, says a word to Nomar. Desmond hitting .290, 21 homers, 78 runs batted in, and a fantastic hitter at home this year, hitting .340. Here's the pitch. There's a strike over the inside corner. Desmond and Fister were teammates with the Washington Nationals past couple of years. Fister had an injury-plagued year last year, and the Astros got a real deal in the offseason, a very astute free agent signee. Just a 1-year deal, however. And the pitch is outside 1-1. The catcher, Jason Castro, is also in his free agent year. Fister, former Seattle Mariner, originally drafted by them in 2006, and Detroit Tiger. Pitch, strike over the outside corner. And Desmond seems somewhat displeased with the call. And the count is 1-2. Hunter Wendelstedt, the veteran umpire whose dad, Harry, was a National League umpire. And Hunter's known for calling a low strike. Here's the 1-2 pitch, just outside. Maybe a little low, and the count is 2 balls and 2 strikes. Hunter Wendelstedt in his 17th year in the big leagues. Nobody out, runner at first, 2-0 Houston. Beltran on deck. Set by Pfister. And the pitch. Desmond takes off the plate outside. Boy, he's really working that low outside corner. Got one strike call, missed with the next two. Pitch is in almost exactly the same spot. And now it's a full count. Mazara, of course, is a slow runner. We'll see if the Rangers start him. There's a throw to first base, and Maz is back. Pfister has a really good move, and he's extremely quick to the plate, as quick as any right-hander. He's only allowed 3 stolen bases all season. Last year, he allowed only 1 all year. Full count. Maz is running. Here's the pitch. Hit in the air, right center field. That's in there for a base hit. Deep in the alley, it is cut off by Marisnick, and that'll stop Mazara at third base. Desmond an opposite field double. Tremendous play by Marisnick to save a run, at least temporarily, by cutting that ball off. But the Rangers down 2-0 are cooking here. Second and third, and nobody out for Beltran.
Really tough call for Spike Owen at third base on whether or not to send Nomar Mazara. Nomar got such a great start at first, and though he's not real quick, was at third base, in pretty good time. But Marisnick and that Astros outfield, 41 outfield assists this year, and decided the better of trying to challenge in this first inning.
It's 27 doubles for Desmond. He ties Odor for the club lead. The infield is back, so they would trade an out for a run on a ground ball to a second or short. And the pitch to Carlos is inside and low. Correa, the shortstop, way over toward the middle. Bregman at third, even with the bag about 10 feet off the line. And Altuve back on the rim at second. 1-0 to Carlos, a swing and a foul back. Beltran, a .293 hitter, 25 homers, 75 RBIs overall. With the Rangers, a .253 hitter, 3 homers, 11 RBIs. And Carlos has gone 8 for 17 since breaking out of an 0 for 32. Beltran on deck. 1-1. Here's the pitch, and a fly ball hit to right field, not very deep. On comes Springer. He makes the catch. Mazara bluffs. He'll have to hold as Springer throws a one-hop strike to the plate. Beltran didn't get it out there far enough to drive in the run. And there's a one away, and Adrian coming out. Adrian hitting .291, 25 homers, 80 RBIs. Named today, not surprisingly, as the Rangers Player of the Month for August, pardon me. As he hit .333 in the month with 9 home runs, 24 RBIs, scored 19 runs. Strong candidate for American League Player of the Month as well. He's also got this run-scoring streak going. He has scored runs in 7 straight games. Roogie on deck. The infield stays back at second and short. And here's the pitch to Adrian. And it's off the plate outside for a ball. With men in scoring position, Beltran, a .346 hitter. That's 7th best in the league. His average right now at .291 is the highest it's been since May the 1st, when he was briefly over 300. Here's the 1-0. It's tight to Beltran. The count is 2-0. And Pfister may just pitch around him a little bit here. Although keep in mind, Odor, a left-handed batter, and lefties are hitting almost 300 against Pfister, while righties are barely hitting 200. The count is 2-0. Long look in by Pfister to Castro, and Beltran calls time and steps out. Great performance and great prices are what Cooper Tires are known for. Learn more at coopertire.com. 2 balls, no strikes, the set. And the pitch, Adrian swings and fouls it off to the right. Tomorrow will be Derek Holland against Joe Musgrove. Holland at 6-4, a .468 ERA. He's had 2 strong starts since coming off the DL. Musgrove goes for Houston, 2-2 with a .436 ERA. Hispanic Heritage Day tomorrow for the 3:05 start. So come out early, see that pregame celebration. Get your tickets at TexasRangers.com. It is also a Red Dot Bobblehead Day. 2 balls, 1 strike. The set. The pitch. Fouled back. Mazara at third. Desmond at second. 2-0 Astros in the first inning. Yeah, tomorrow Nitto Tire gives away the Red Dot bobblehead to the first 15,000 fans. And remember that odd starting time for TV, 3:05. With the 2:05 Sunday game matching up Yu Darvish and Colin McHugh. These are the final games the Astros will play here this year. 2-2 pitch. Beltran lines one softly to first. It is snared by Reed with a backhand. And the runners have to hold. And now Pfister is just 1 out away from leaving 2 men in scoring position. The batter will be Ruge, hitting .276 with a team-high 27 homers and 72 runs batted in. Well, Reed was playing off the line a few steps, but still had time to move to his left and grab that humpback liner. So 2 away, Lucroy the on-deck batter. Ruge over the last 2 heroic games, 6 for 10 with 3 home runs and 7 runs batted in. 2 runs, 2 hits for Houston, no runs, 2 hits for the Rangers. Both teams had yesterday off. Pfister leans in, tucks the black glove against the chest, comes to the set, pushes off, comes home, and Odor takes a slow curve in there for a strike. Pfister, adept at changing speeds, as is Griffin. A very calm mound presence. He has the sign at 0-1. The set, the pitch. Just missed. A little fastball darting down. 1 ball and 1 strike. The Rangers saw all they could handle of Pfister back in 2011 in the ALCS when he was with the Tigers. He was at his best then. 1-1 pitch. And there's a slow ground ball to second. This should end the inning. Altuve's got it over to first, and Pfister gets out of the jam. And that great play by Marisnick in center field ultimately did save a run. No runs, 2 hits, 2 left, and after 1, the rookie hitting .171. 3 homers, 8 RBIs, and the first pitch to the big lefty is inside, 4-1. Reed's been up and down a couple of times this year. He's had a bit of a strikeout issue, 41 of them in 108 at-bats. And the pitch is low, 2 balls and no strikes on Reed. Castro and then Marisnick, the bottom 3 in the order for A.J. Hinch. Reed, a second-round pick out of Kentucky in 2014. 2-0 pitch to him is very high, and the count is 3-0. He began his big league career 0 for 16 back in late June, early July, and then was sent back to the minors for a while. 3-0 from Griffin is a strike. Reed was taken all the way. And it's 3-1. A walk to Altuve hurt Griffin in the first inning. And that provided the base runner who scored the second run after Alex Bregman had homered as the number 2 batter. 3-1 pitch. That swung on, popped up left side. Beltran drifting toward the line has a play. Now moves back towards second base and makes the catch. As that northeast wind got a hold of that, actually moved that ball a little bit. There's 1 out, and Jason Castro coming back. Any players still left from when you did the Astros games, Dave?
Handful. You know, there's obviously Altuve, the guy who goes back the furthest, but Jason Castro was a guy who was there when I was there. That's about it.
Now, Castro was a first-round draft pick, right?
Yep.
From your alma mater.
Yeah, he came out of Stanford. I think I want to say he was like the. Well, I don't want to say overall what pick he was, but yeah, big deal at the time.
9 home runs this year, 20 RBIs, just a .218 average, and he swings and pops one up. Short left, on comes Gomez. He takes care of it. And there are 2 outs, and A.J. Griffin retires A.J. Reed, and then Jason Castro. He was the 10th overall pick, was Castro.
Oh, okay. And
was actually an All-Star in 2013, but has had a few years that have not measured up to that since then. Now Marisnick, a superb defensive outfielder, as we saw when he cut off that ball off Desmond's bat and saved a run, but hitting just .212, 4 homers, 12 RBIs. Here's the pitch, and that is outside for a ball. He has started 7 straight games in center field. Since Carlos Gomez departed. He's become the regular center fielder. 1-0, and the pitch is low. Keep in mind they do have a couple of players on the disabled list. Luis Valbuena apparently will miss the rest of the year with a hamstring injury. Played first and the third. Preston Tucker, an outfielder, is hurt, and so is pitcher Lance McCullers. A pitch to Erasmus is a strike. 2-1. Relatively speaking, though, the Astros have been injury-free compared to most teams this year. Here's the 2-1 offering, and that's hit in the air to right. Mazara drifting back, has plenty of room. He makes the grab, and it's an easy inning, a 10-pitch inning for A.J. Griffin. 1-2-3 go the Astros, and to the bottom of the second we go. 2-0 Houston. Jonathan Lucroy leads off the Rangers second. It's 2-0 Houston. First pitch from Pfister is outside, ball one. Lucroy accounted for the only Rangers run off Pfister when Doug faced the Rangers back in Houston on the 6th of August. Rangers won that game 3-2 in what developed into a battle of bullpens. And the pitch is a strike to Lucroy. A .293 hitter, 7 homers, 17 RBIs. He's hit over 400 in this ballpark, with an on-base percentage over 500 for his 13 home games. 1-1 delivery, and that's looped in the air, short right field, coming hard. Springer toward the line, can't get it. That dunks in for a hit. Lucroy will hold it first. Lead-off single for the second straight inning. It'll bring up Mitch Moreland, and let's check in with Jared.
Well, guys, there's an NL East battle going on right now between the Mets and the Nationals. It's 2-1. The Nationals are leading the Mets. And what interests me about this, Noah Syndergaard's pitching for the Mets, and he's done a heck of a job bum-fuzzling opposing hitters this year. But he has really struggled at controlling the running game. He's allowed 4 stolen bases in this game tonight. He has now seen 45 runners steal successfully with him on the mound. Jimmy Nelson has allowed the second most runners to steal successfully at 26.
Wow. How about in our league? Is there a way of finding out who's allowed the most steals?
Give me a second.
Scott Feldman's usually among the leaders there, but he's not starting anymore. Well, here's Mitch, and Moreland takes a strike. He's hitting .247, 22 homers, and 55 runs batted in.
Ubaldo Jimenez at 21, and Cole Hamels at 20.
Oh, Ubaldo's not starting anymore either on a regular basis. A 1 pitch. That's low and away. 1 ball and 1 strike. Very short lead for Lucroy over at first, and an overshift on for Mitch. 3 on the right side. Carlos Gomez on deck, and then Elvis Andrus as we move into the bottom of the Rangers batting order. The set and the pitch inside, that almost hits Moreland. I'm not sure how that missed him, in fact. Thigh high at 87, and it's 2-1. In case you missed the news, it was actually yesterday the Rangers announced their first 4 call-ups, and those fellows are all here today. Catcher Brett Nicholas, infielder Hanser Alberto, pitchers Nick Martinez, and Yoander Mendez. Mendez the only one who hasn't been here before. 2-1, and there's a strike. Mendez is a left-hander who was a starting pitcher this year, worked his way up through the system. And when he gets into a ball game, he'll be the 50th player used by the Rangers this year and the 30th pitcher. Jeff Bannister said that he does plan to use Mendez out of the bullpen, although he was a starter in the minors. 2 balls and 2 strikes. A set by Pfister, and the pitch to Mitch. Slow curve down low, blocked nicely in the dirt by Castro. And it's a full count. 6 games between the Rangers and the Astros over the course of the next 2 weeks. And that will really determine whether the Astros have any more hope of catching the Rangers in the division race. Throw to first base and diving back in is Lucroy. Of course, both teams have other things to concern themselves with. The Astros with the wild card hunt. Last year they did win the wild card game as Dallas Keuchel shut out the Yankees in New York. And the Rangers concerned with the overall American League lead. Runner goes. The pitch is swung on and popped up into short left. Rasmus on to make the grab, and back to first goes Lucroy. He was running on the 3-2 pitch. The Rangers lead Cleveland by 3 games, Toronto by 3.5 for the overall best record in the league. The Blue Jays are tied today 2-2 with the Rays in the bottom of the 5th inning in Tampa, and the Indians behind Carlos Carrasco are leading the Marlins 4-0 in the bottom of the 5th inning in Cleveland. That's an early look at the Capital One Bank scoreboard. Right here, 2-0 Houston. Gomez, the hitter, hitting 160 as a Ranger, 2 homers, 8 RBIs. Pitch from Pfister, and that is in there for a strike. It is 0-1. Remember, the Astros are still paying the large part of Carlos Gomez's salary, as he was released by them after passing through waivers. Rangers just pay him the minimum. There's a swing and a line drive, base hit for Gomez, right center. Marisnik over to cut this one off. Around to third goes Lucroy. Gomez dives into second without a play. And the Rangers, for the second straight inning, have runners at second and third. And for the second straight inning, Marisnick makes a nice play to cut a ball off to save a run. That was deja vu.
It really was. Another excellent job by Marisnick, who covers a lot of ground. He's got great speed, great instincts as an outfielder. I was also intrigued by Carlos Gomez taking the second base in that case. I mean, that's a bit of a high-risk proposition with Marisnick's arm in center field, and he did whirl and make a decent throw. But you see Gomez's speed again, and what a tool, what an asset that really can be.
Infield is back for Elvis, and the pitch to him is a strike. Elvis hitting .295, 4 homers, and 56 runs batted in. And with men in scoring position, hitting .383, fourth in the league behind Altuve, Victor Martinez. Let me check that. Wrong list. He is a fourth in the league behind Altuve, Coco Crisp, and Junel Escobar. And Crisp, as you may know, now belongs to the Cleveland Indians, traded on Wednesday from Oakland. 0-1. Here's the pitch, and it is a strike on the outside corner. Now, remember in the first inning, with runners at second and third and nobody out, the Rangers couldn't score. Beltran popped to right, Beltran lined softly to first, and Odor grounded out meekly to second. Now you have a Lucroy single, a Moreland fly ball, and a Gomez double, and Elvis with a shot to tie the game with a base hit. Although the outfield is extremely shallow, there's no guarantee that Gomez would score on a single, even with his speed. Here's the pitch, way outside, as Elvis leaned but didn't offer. And the count is 1-2. Nomar Mazara is up next. Rangers with a 5-game winning streak during which they've scored 37 runs, an average of over 7 runs per ballgame. But down 2-0 tonight. Here's the 1-2. Swinging a slow ground ball to third base. Breaking for the plate. Lucroy scores. Throw to first by Bregman is high. Elvis is safe. The ball gets away and the game is tied as Gomez races home. Elvis goes to second. On the way to third. He stands there without a throw. We are tied at 2. Well, Bregman, who has been outstanding at third base for the Astros in terms of range, has committed more than his share of errors, and that'll be his 9th, as he had to range pretty far to his left to come up with that ball, but then airmailed the throw over A.J. Reed at first base.
You want to be careful about ascribing too much impact of one move by a player, but I'm not so sure that Gomez darting from second to third as he was about to throw that ball, it might not have just unnerved Bregman just a touch. It caused him to throw that one wildly.
The infield's in. Here's Bass, and the pitch is in for a strike. We are now tied at 2. Greg Porzusik, the official scorer tonight, scoring that play an error all the way, apparently. Elvis does get a run batted in. 0-1. Here's the pitch. Mazara takes low. 1 ball and 1 strike. So Elvis the go-ahead run now at third base. 2 runs, 2 hits for Houston. 2 runs, 4 hits for the Rangers. Rangers have that First Financial Bank first run. First Financial Bank putting you first. A ball and a strike. Desmond on deck. The pitch to Maz. Swung on, ground ball to short. The runner has to hold. Firing to first is Correa. And Elvis has to hold at third base. So Maz fails to get the job done. And Ian Desmond coming up next. Desmond trying to break the tie. Laced a double to right center field his first time up. So an interesting beginning to the ball game as the Astros get 2 in the first and the Rangers get 2 in the second. Pfister never gives up first inning runs. This is the 17th straight start in which he has not given up a run in the first inning. Not bad. Beltran would be next. Here's the pitch to Desmond. Just off the plate outside and low. Lucroy and Gomez scoring in the inning. Elvis picking up his 57th run batted in. 67 is his career high back in 2013. And the pitch to Desmond, a high fly ball to right. Springer angles back toward the corner. He's there and he's got it, and the side's retired. But the Rangers get it tied up. 2 runs, 2 hits, a costly error, 1 left. And after 2 complete, it's the Rangers 2 and the Astros 2 on the Texas Rangers Radio Network.
No one likes to think about getting
Right here. Visit us on the web at McDavidHondaFrisco.com.
2-2 ball game as we get going here in the top of the third inning. Top of the order for the Astros. George Springer leading it off, takes a strike, and now watches one outside from Griffin. Count 1-1. It'll be Springer, Alex Bregman, and Jose Altuve. Griffin's 2-2, and that one a little tight. Then Springer backward, 2-1. Springer bounced back to the mound, back of the first inning, 0 for 1 tonight. Griffin with a high late kick, and the pitch swung on and ripped foul. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Springer leads the Astros with 25 home runs. Has 78 RBIs, and when he is in the lineup, in particular when he's leading things off, they are a much better team. 2-2 pitch from Griffin, and that one sails outside to run the count full. The curveball that time just too far off the plate. Infield straight up and deep on Springer. Outfield straight away. Griffin's payoff on the way, and that one is a fastball called strike 3. Nibbles off the outside corner, and Springer down looking. Second strikeout tonight for A.J. Griffin. And for Springer, that's 140 strikeouts now this year. So, lead man retired, and that brings up Alex Bregman, the man who started the scoring tonight with his home run back in the first inning. And a big looping curveball is taken off the plate for ball 1. Astros got 2 runs in that first inning. Rangers came back for 2 in the second, and now a curveball in there for a called strike evens things up 1-1 to Bregman. AJ went after him with fastballs back in the first inning, and now sends a heater in there for called strike 2. He was trying to get in on Bregman. That is back in the first. He did, but Bregman ambushed him. He saw it coming, and now he swings and misses at a curveball away, and that's strike 3. Back-to-back strikeouts for Griffin. So, this the second time through the order, and Griffin, since that little hiccup in the first, has really been pretty good. He's retired 7 in a row, 3 of them on strikeouts, and now will contend with Jose Altuve. Altuve, the leading hitter in the American League at .351 coming in, and he takes a breaking ball for strike 1. And so it's been a steady diet of curveballs in this third inning for A.J. Griffin. 29-year-old right-hander back to the plate. A fastball is sent down the right field line, but hanging up in the air a little bit. Mazzara out toward the corner, and he'll reach up and make the catch to complete the one to him right in there for a strike. It'll be Beltran, Adrian Beltre, and then Beltran and Odor is the one-strike offering. Waved at and missed. And Beltran in an 0-2 hole. He'll back out against Fister. Doug Fister has the start tonight for the Astros. Opening game in this 3-game series. A 2-2 ball game as we play bottom of the third. Fister's 0-2, low and in. Our third inning tonight brought to you by the United Association of Union Plumbers, Pipe Fitters, and Service Technicians. Well, Beltran, a guy with some ties to the Astros, and he swings and hammers this one down the right field line, but foul. Long strike. Count stays 1-2. Beltran was traded to the Astros in 2004. Played 90 games with him, got him into the postseason, and then just exploded as he takes one very high. Fastball from Fister. Evens the count at 2-2. Hit 8 home runs, scored 21 runs in the 04 postseason for the Astros. He went on to sign with the New York Mets that offseason. He'll ask for time, and it's granted by Hunter Windelstadt. 2-2 on the way from Pfister, and that one swung on and hit sharply up the middle. The ground ball bobbled by Correa. He'll pick it up, throw to first, and it's in time as Reed catches it on a short hop. Beltran retired, one away in the third inning. There was a brief moment there where it looked like a Correa fumble might well cost Pfister again. He's had one very big error behind him tonight, the three-base error by Bregman that allowed the two Rangers runs to score. So one of them would have scored anyway.
And they're so good defensively, it's rare for them to give runs away.
Now Beltran, and he'll swing and turn this one sharply foul on the third base side for strike one. Beltran lined out on the first, kind of a soft liner. It's not like he smoked it down the first base line. A.J. Reed, who is the only defender on the right side of the infield, was off the line as he is right now. He was able to move a couple of steps toward the line to make the catch. Beltran turns on this one and hits it a mile foul down the third base line to count 0-2. Adrian on a hot streak right now, though. The guy who is dialed in, as we like to say. And he got a pretty good swing on that last offering from Pfister. Big righty's 0-2, and this one swung on, but lifted very high in the air into left field. Rasmus coming in, waiting for it, and makes the catch near the line. There are two gone. And so that will get Rougned Odor to the plate, but not before we pause 10 seconds for station identification on the Texas Rangers Radio Network.
This is the home of the Texas Rangers.
Hit in the air to left center field, hit well. He's still going back, and that ball is history.
On the Texas Rangers Radio Network.
Back here at Globe Life Park, a 2-2 ball game. Rangers and Astros, opening game of this three-game series. Here's Rougned Odor, left-handed hitter, in the offering from Doug Pfister, a little bit outside for ball one. Odor grounded out back in the first inning. He was up with 2 outs and 2 men in scoring position. And when he takes another one wide, it's 2-0. The Rangers put the first 2 men on in the first inning, so they had Mazzara at third, Desmond at second, but could not get anyone home. At the time, that looked like a pretty big deal. The 2-0 pitch. This one is pulled foul, first base side by Odor. 2-1 the count. I mean, it might, at the end of the day, it might end up being a big deal, but the Rangers have come back to get 2 runs and tie this game. Infield shifted over to the right side. 2-1 from Pfister. That one swung on and ripped down the right field line. That's a base hit. Skips all the way to the fence. Odor hustling out of the box. He will cruise to second with a 2-out double. And so Rougned Odor with another extra base hit. And he's in scoring position now for Jonathan Lucroy. The Rangers have had some pretty good swings so far tonight on Pfister.
Yeah, they sure have. And Odor regains the club lead in doubles.
That's a good piece of hitting. That pitch was on the outside corner. It was low. Left-handers typically like it low, but in. And he was able to reach out, get that ball, and then pull it sharply into right field. Now Lucroy, and he takes one outside from Doug Pfister. Jonathan Lucroy now at 243 with 7 home runs as a Ranger. Was hitting .299 with 13 bombs earlier this year with the Brewers. Pitch to him, fastball right in there, and it's 1-1. Back at the top of the inning, A.J. Griffin got a couple of strikeouts and got Altuve to fly out to right field. That, it turns out, was the 15th out of the game, our Geico 15th out. A 15th out brought to you by Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. Pfister comes to the plate low. The count now 2-1 on Jonathan Lucroy. Couple of righties tonight, neither of whom are overpowering. Both veteran presences in the 2-1 pitch. Way off the plate by Pfister as he yanks that one well wide of the dish. And now a very friendly count for Jonathan Lucroy at 3-1. He can sit on one type of pitch in one location should he want. The 3-1. And he swings and hits this one sharply on the ground to second. Altuve to a knee, has it, stands up, throws to first, and gets Lucroy to end the inning. No runs, the double by Odor, but he's stranded, and we will go to the underway in the 4th inning. First pitch to Carlos Correa, delivered for strike one. From A.J. Griffin, a 2-2 ball game tonight out here at Globe Life Park. Griffin off the plate with a fastball this time, and the count evens at 1-1. Correa singled back in the 1st inning, and he shoots this one fouled on the right side and off the brick wall down there, well beyond the Rangers dugout. Caroms all the way out to Mazzara in right field. 1-2 the count on Carlos Correa. Well, he is a dangerous right-handed hitter. Good to have him leading off an inning as a curveball blocked near the plate by Lucroy, and it is 2-2. Correa has been terrific for the Astros this year in driving in runs. Shortstop with 90 RBIs this year, and he fouls it straight back to the screen. 2-2. The Astros, an organization not known, and you look back through their history, for having real productive hitters at shortstop. 2-2, and that one way in almost unbuckles the belt of Correa. It's a full count. Correa has already established the franchise record for RBIs in a season by a shortstop. Miguel Tejada, the previous record holder. Payoff pitch, bouncer slowly to short. Andrus waited on it, throws over to first, and it's there in plenty of time to get Correa for the first out of the inning.
When you think about an Astros shortstop, historically, who comes to mind for you? Who's the first guy?
Dickie Thon, probably.
Dickie Thon. I go Dennis Menke.
Wow.
Don't know why, but if you were to say name an Astros shortstop, I'd say Dennis Menke.
Interesting.
Adam Everett.
Adam Everett, says Jared.
Yeah, Adam Everett was there for their greatest years, and it fits the exact description I was just talking about, right? A guy who just could not hit.
Yeah, good. The classic good field no hit.
Terrific guy, but he just had trouble at the plate. Evan Gattis now up there for the Astros. 2-2 our score tonight, and that one dropped in from the sky. The curveball from A.J. Griffin, and he's gone to that pretty heavily tonight. 1-1 the count now on Gattis. And a fastball now hits the outside corner. And that fastball, that last one there, 89 miles per hour. Look, 97 on the back of the curveball. I mean, it's just blazingly quick coming off some of the soft stuff from A.J. Griffin. This one shoots foul over to the right side. Count stays 1-2. Our 4th inning brought to you by the Dallas-Fort Worth BMW Group. BMW, the ultimate driving machine. Gattis waiting, and the pitch to him. He swings and rolls it slowly to third. Long throw for Beltran, but has all kinds of time to get Gattis, and does so by about a step and a half. 2 gone.
So listen to this. Adam Everett had 4 consecutive seasons as the primary shortstop for the Astros. Dickie Thon had a total of 3. Dennis Menke had a total of 2. The guy who had a total of 7 in a row from 1971 to 1977 was Butch Metzger.
So that would have been the best answer.
That would have been the best answer.
2 gone, and here's Colby Rasmus, and a big curveball fouled over to the third base side and up into the stands for strike 1. A.J. Griffin.
Roger Metzger he was. Roger Metzger.
Yeah, right.
Which was a pitcher, I think.
Griffin has retired 10 straight now. One strike offering, way up and in on Rasmus. Count 1-1. Shift on the infield. Rangers with 3 infielders over on that first base side. Beltran all by himself on the left side. And a fastball to Rasmus is well in. It's 2-1.
Menke was an all-star twice. Thon was an all-star once. Everett was an all-star never.
Thon just was more of a story, right? I mean, it was just more legend than anything else. Swing and a miss by Rasmus. Count 2-2.
Played a little bit with the Rangers, too, at the end.
A.J. Griffin getting some encouragement from the folks here at Globe Life. 2-2 pitch. Rasmus sends this one high in the air left field. Back goes Gomez. Room back there in front of the warning track, and he makes the catch. To another 1-2-3 inning for A.J. Griffin. Looking good tonight. We go to the bottom. First pitch thrown to Mitch Moreland is ripped into right field. A base hit, and we are underway in the bottom of the 4th inning. So Moreland up there hacking against Doug Fister. Rangers have yet another base runner. That'll bring up Carlos Gomez, and we check in with Jared Sandler.
Well, guys, it's 3-3 between the Twins and the White Sox. The Twins have all 3 runs on one swing of the bat. You want to guess who hit the home run for the Twins?
Kepler.
Brian Dozier,
again,
who since August 1st has 14 home runs, most in Major League Baseball by 3. His 33rd of the season.
Man. He is having some kind of second half. And is now Carlos Gomez takes ball 1 from Doug Fister.
You know, we talk about Rugi and where he stacks up compared to other second basemen, and 27 homers for a second baseman is outstanding. It's a deep year for second baseman, and Dozier has 33.
Next pitch a little bit in. 2-0 on Gomez. Yeah, that's a big number. In any year for a second baseman. Infield double play depth, and a swing and a miss by Gomez makes it 2-1. Moreland on at first with a leadoff single. Rangers have had at least 1 hit every inning. They are 0 for 7 tonight, however, with runners in scoring position. 2-1. There's a swing and a bouncer up the middle. Base hit. And Gomez with his second hit of the night against his former team. That was a rifle shot right back up the box. And Doug Fister had no chance. Might have split the wickets, in fact, and into center field.
Now you got an interesting situation. Elvis loves to bunt in situations like this. Often does, even when a bunt sign isn't put on. We'll see what he's got in mind right here and what Jeff Bannister has in mind with Mazara coming up next.
I like him swinging here. And I get it. But he's been so good with runners in scoring position. He's got Moreland at second. He's going to get a good pitch. And he is swinging, and he hammers this one down the left field line. That ball is off the base of the fence. Here comes Moreland. He's in. Gomez stopped at third on the double by Elvis Andrus, and the Rangers on top 3-2.
Good call, partner. Wide bunt.
It's an easy game.
Sometimes. If he hits into a double play, we say, no, it's the 17th double play he's grounded into. How can you let him swing?
Well, he's been so good in these spots this year, though, and you got to pitch up. Doug Fister has really liked to work in that part of the zone, and I don't know. Maybe Elvis was thinking to himself, I'm going to ambush if he leaves anything up there. Well, he did, though. Hammered that ball off the wall. An RBI double. Now second and third. Nobody out for Mazara. And he swings and hits one into center field. Marisnik to his right. He'll make the catch. Tagging at third, Gomez. He'll score. Tagging at second and advancing to third is Andrews. 4-2 Rangers on the sac fly by Mazara.
Boy, Marisnik launched the throw over the head of Bregman at third, but Fister was backing up the play at third base. That's a play where the pitcher has to know which base to back up, and he picked the right one. going over to third. If he goes behind the plate, Rangers have another run.
So 2 runs are in. And they'll bring the infield in with a man at third, 1 out, and Ian Desmond takes strike 1. Desmond 1 for 2 tonight. 4 unanswered runs by the Rangers after falling behind quickly 2-0. Desmond waiting, and a pitch from Pfister a little bit low. A pretty good pitch from Pfister. But Desmond laid off, the count 1-1. Desmond upright stance, slightly opened up. And the pitch from Pfister way outside, ball 2. Correa and Altuve up the middle at short and second base respectively, with their toes right up on the edge of the grass. And on the corners, both infielders weigh in, although Reed well off the line at first. Outfield fairly shallow against Desmond. And the pitch to him, a bouncer right to Reed at first base. He'll sidestep to the bag and get Desmond, all the while keeping an eye on Elvis Andrus, who threatened. I mean, he bolted about a third of the way down the line, but did not challenge, and he remains at third base with 2 out. And we saw Pfister turn a little magic in the first inning. After a single and a double had him up against the wall, and he retired 3 straight. First pitch to Carlos Beltran popped up to the third base side foul, and that one about 5 or 6 rows up into the stands. Pfister narrowly escaped damage in that first inning. Here in the fourth, not quite as lucky. The RBI double by Andrus, the sac fly by Mazzara, but still trying to leave a man at third base. The 1-strike offering bounces about 2 feet in front of home plate. 1-1 to Carlos Beltran, a switch hitter, batting left-handed tonight against Pfister. Dallas Keuchel, this would have been his spot of the rotation for the Astros. And a day or two ago, we learned he wasn't going to strike this game. The 1-1, there's a swing, and that ball hit well. High and deep center field. Long run, Marisnik back to the wall. Good! A home run! Carlos Beltran up on a Greens Hill. A 2-run blast, his 26th of the season. Rangers lead by 4.
That is such a big home run to not let Pfister off the hook. If he hadn't gotten a hit, you would have been looking at a 1 for 10 with men in scoring position. And you're wondering how the Astros are even in the game. Well, now you got a 2-run homer, and you wonder if they are in the game.
Well, what a big turn of events this fourth inning. Beltran with a bomb just to the right of center field. And it is 6-2 Rangers. Now Adrian Beltran, he takes ball 1 from Pfister. Right-hander's next pitch. This one swung on and ripped down the third baseline, but hooks foul. 1-1 the count. Boy, Beltran's just amazing what he continues to be able to do. 39 years old, picked up at the trade deadline by the Rangers. Very controlled swing. Such big power. The 1-1. Beltran with a huge cut goes down to a knee, fouls that one off for strike 2.
The home run number 418 for Beltran. He's 51st on the all-time list, 8 behind Billy Williams, and we've got action in the Houston bullpen here in the 4th inning. Remember, this is their number 1 starter on the mound.
I think you used the word earlier. They're the most consistent this year for the Astros. 1-2 pitch. Bounces up there, 2-2 the count.
Looks like Michael Feliz warming up.
Pfister lately has been on a run of a good start, bad start, kind of alternate outings. 2-2. And Beltran just stays alive as he fouls it to that third base side. But this, in that pattern, was to have been a good start for Doug Fister. His last one was not very good. And so there was some optimism that if that pattern was indeed going to hold, well, maybe he would be pretty sharp tonight. He has always been good on the road. But tonight has run into a little bit of trouble. Gave up a couple of runs in the second, and now 4 in this fourth inning. Bases empty, 2 out. Rangers lead 6-2. And it's 2-2 to Beltran. He'll turn it foul again. Beltran looking into that Astros dugout with a smile on his face. To say, well, who did I get? Bottom of the fourth inning tonight. Opening game in this 3-game series. 2-2 Beltran, and he'll swing and hit this one a mile up in the air. Foul ground, third base side. Bregman is over, but that one not playable. Ooh, boy, bounces off the concrete among the fans and then back up probably another 40 feet in the air. The good news is it hit the concrete first. Count stays 2-2. Beltran, the cleanup man in this order tonight for Jeff Bannister. The 2-2 pitch is off the plate. It's a full count.
Great at bat this is.
Well, he has turned in a handful of these in the last couple of weeks. He's extended at bats where he has worked the count. This will be the 9th pitch. And he fouls it off again. It stays 3-2.
No, he's an amazing 2-strike hitter. You know, among the best in the league this year, hitting with 2 strikes. He actually hits about 240 with 2 strikes, where the league hits about 170 with any sort of a 2-strike count.
Well, he is wearing down Doug Fister right now.
You know, Jared looked this up for us the other day. The top hitter in the league with 2 strikes is Sandy Leon.
Oh, of course.
Of the Red Sox. Backup catch.
Of course. 3-2. And another foul ball. He is ahead of everything right now, getting these fastballs from Fister. That one was headed in. Beltran able to turn on it again. This will be pitch number 11. What a battle right now with Doug Fister. Huffing and puffing, just trying to get through this inning. And the right-handers 3-2. Inside, ball 4. Beltran with a little dance on the tippy toes. Watches ball 4, and he heads down to first base, extending the inning for Beltran and Odor.
And keeping that pitch count rising on Fister. He's up to 84 pitches already as he works in the 4th inning. AJ, a very manageable 62 at this point.
So trouble really starting to brew for this Astros club. And this is the first of a critical stretch for the Rangers' in-state rival. There's a swing. A ball hit well. Out to right. Carrying into the bleachers. Beltran and Odor piling on with a 2-run blast of his own. Rangers lead 8-2 in the 4th inning.
The effect of the Beltran at bat, immediate. Wow. What a rocket that was.
Odor has been swinging the hottest bat. And you had a feeling he might get something good to hit right there, and he does again. Odor with a 2-homer night on Wednesday. The big home run on Tuesday, and another one here tonight.
The Rangers are really getting the job done against good pitchers. Well, they did it against Cleveland. They did it against Seattle, and knocking out the Astros' #1 guy here in the 4th inning. I think it's the shortest outing of the year.
Fister done after 3 2/3. He heads to the showers. Astros go to the bullpen, and we'll tell you about the new pitcher when we come back on the Texas Rangers 4th inning Send the Astros ace to the showers. Our pitching change tonight brought to you by Cholula. Uncapped real flavor with Cholula hot sauce. The hot sauce with the iconic wooden cap. It's 8-2 Rangers. Feliz, a right-hander on in his first pitch upstairs with ball one. He'll go mid-90s with a fastball. Also a very good slider. August has been particularly rugged, though, for Michael Feliz. Jonathan Lucroy at the plate, and the 1-0 pitch. He'll send it high in the air down the right field line, but foul. As that one ends up among the spectators. It is 1-1. Lucroy is the 9th batter of the inning for the Rangers, who have plated 6 already. Home runs from Carlos Beltran, and Odor. The 1-1 from Feliz, and this ball is hit well down the left field line. Is it high enough? It is! That one into the seats. Back-to-back home runs, and it is 9-2 Rangers. Eighth of the year for Lucroy. And it just keeps coming. Wow. That ball off the bat was a howitzer down the left field line, and the only question was, would it be high enough to get over that 354 marker just to the right of the foul pole? And it barely was. Mitch Moreland stands in now and takes a curveball in the dirt for ball one. Goodness. 3 home runs in the inning. Moreland, who started the inning with a base hit on the first pitch. It's this one high in the air, foul, left side, and out of play. Hey, what does it mean when Geico says just 15 minutes could save you 15% or more in car insurance? Well, it means you probably should have gone to geico.com 15 minutes ago. Michael Feliz is 1-1, and that one is tight for a ball. 2-1 to count. Feliz at one point had a 0.54 earned run average, but in August, his earned run average was over 5.5 in his 2-1 pitch. Very low. Ball 3. He has 8 wins in relief this year, 1 loss, and overall now his earned run average in 39 appearances stands at 461. He'll wind it up in the 3-1 pitch. Moreland shoots this one high in the air left field. Rasmus is back, appears to have room, and right onto the warning track makes the catch to win the inning. The fans here maybe cheering a little bit with their hearts on that high pop-up or high fly ball off the bat of Moreland. The inning is over. A 7-run frame, and it is 9-2 Rangers as we go to the 5th on the Texas Rangers Radio Network.
My kids keep me busy. We like to roughhouse together, play catch, and occasionally they teach me some dance moves.
Well, football season underway. Rangers just put 7 on the board in the 5th, or rather 4th. We go to the 5th. And here's Eric Nadel.
All right, Dave, thanks. It equals the largest inning for the Rangers this year. And we'll see if A.J. can execute the shutdown against the other A.J. to start, A.J. Reed, and he takes a strike. Reed popped out to third his first time up. Griffin swings to the line, the hands up to the chest, comes to the plate, misses inside. And it's 1 ball and 1 strike. Reed, Castro, and Marisnik, the bottom third of A.J. Hinch's batting order, here in the first half of the 5th inning. A.J. lets it fly 1-1, and A.J. Reed pops it up a mile high behind second base. Elvis going out and calling. Desmond coming on and calling him off. Reaches up above the cap and brings it down. And there's 1 away. Remember, it was the Elvis double that put the Rangers in front 3-2. And what followed was 6 big insurance runs. Brought to you by Globe Life, official life insurance of the Texas Rangers. The Rangers with the 3 home runs tonight now have 19 home runs in their last 10 ball games. Their opposition has 2. And here is Jason Castro. He popped out to left field his first time up. Pitch from Griffin, cut on and missed. A fastball inside. It is 0-1. Griffin's on a roll now. He's retired 12 straight since a single by Correa in the first inning. Remember, the 2, 3, and 4 batters all reached. Nobody's reached since. Now Castro hits a long drive to right. Mazara is at the wall, and it's gone. A towering home run for Castro. And it's 9-3 Texas. His 10th home run, his 31st RBI. That was a soaring shot to straightaway right field. Second home run allowed by A.J. tonight, and the 21st of the year. This is 19th start. Both home runs, of course, solos. And here comes Marisnik. He flied out to right field his first time up. So it won't be the classic shutdown inning for A.J. Griffin here tonight. Griffin out of Grossmont High School in El Cajon, California. Tomorrow's Astros starter, Joe Musgrove, also went to that school. There's a pitch high for ball one. I asked A.J. if he'd given Joe the secret handshake this week, and he said he didn't know him, and there isn't one. There's the 1-0 pitch. That's inside, and running out to the mound is Lucroy to talk to A.J. Looked like Lucroy might have been crossed up on that. Now, Sunday with Darvish on the mound against Colin McHugh, it's a Bluebell Ice Cream Sunday. Ice cream just $1 for kids 13 and under. Get your tickets at TexasRangers.com or call 972-RANGERS. It's supposed to be a fabulous weekend weather-wise. We have a gorgeous night tonight, 83 degrees, with a big fireworks show to follow the ball game tonight. Tomorrow's high, 88 with a lot of sun, and Sunday, 91. Here's the 2-0 delivery. That's high, and A.J.'s behind Marisnik at 3-0. A.J. walked Altuve in the first inning, and Altuve eventually scored on a sacrifice fly. That's the only walk. And there's a strike. It is 3-1. 9 runs, 11 hits for the Rangers. 3 runs, 3 hits for the Astros. Remember, the Rangers scored 14 runs on Wednesday. A 3-1 pitch fouled off. And prior to Wednesday, the Rangers had not scored in double figures since late June. It went all of July, all of August, until the very last day before they finally got back into double figures in the game. Here comes the payoff pitch to Marisnik, and it's fouled back. Rangers, for the year, have moved up to 4th in the league in home runs with 177. Coming into the game, and now they're at 180. This is game number 135. Payoff pitch again. And that's hit high in the air down the right field line. It is slicing foul. Mazara over near the sidewall, and it is back out of play. And the Baltimore Orioles are already over 200 home runs. With a month to go, they've hit 209. Blue Jays closing in on that. They're at 196. Three and two again. Back comes Griffin. Fouled back off a curveball. Tampa Bay with 176, just one behind the Rangers. So the Rangers moving up into the upper echelons in long ball. Seattle with 179. They've just been passed by the Rangers. Rangers are now third. 3-2 pitch. Fouled back. The Mariners, who lost 6 games to the Rangers in the standings in a span of 8 days, will be hosting the Angels later tonight. Ariel Miranda, Cuban left-hander, to pitch against Brett Oberholzer of the Angels. Red Sox and A's will play in Oakland later on. David Price and Andrew Triggs. 3-2 again, and Marisnik hits a grounder foul past third base. This was now quite an extended at-bat for the number 9 batter, Jake Marisnik. Rangers leading here 9-3 in the top half of the 5th inning. Cubs beat the Giants today 2-1. John Lester had a no-hitter through 7. Wound up with 3 hits for the Giants. A.J. throws the curve, and he misses outside. So he walks Marisnik. A.J. looks upset with himself. A.J. relying heavily on the curveball tonight. He has thrown a ton of them. And a great at-bat there for Marisnik. He's on with 1 out. Rangers leading 9-3. Astros trying to get back in this ball game.
And I thought A.J., that first inning he was fastball in, and give up the home run to Bregman. Things didn't go real well.
There's a fastball strike at the knees.
And then he just he really turned to that curveball in a big way. And as you pointed out a moment ago, 12 in a row retired. Before now, suddenly the home run, the walk to Marisnik.
All it took was my saying he'd retired 12 in a row. Now Springer swings and misses and falls over. Winds up in the dirt with the ferocious cut that he took. Springer has grounded to the mound and he has struck out. Rangers have really held him in check this year. He's hitting about $160 against the Rangers with just 3 runs batted in. He tends to strike out a lot. He has fanned 140 times this year. 0-2. Struck him out again. High fastball. He throws the bat up in the air and catches it on his way to the third base dugout. Pretty nifty. And there are 2 outs. Here's Bregman, who homered on the second pitch he saw in the first inning, then struck out in the third. Well, A.J. getting Springer at the top of the zone with that fastball. A.J. back to work. Curves him and misses outside. Haven't seen a whole lot of cutters from Griffin tonight and haven't seen a whole lot of changeups. It's been pretty much a fastball-curveball combination for Griffin. The pitch swung on, looped in the air to left field. Late start for Gomez. He leans. He's got it. Did not get a good read, but recovered to make the catch and retire the side. 1 run. Gomez has doubled and singled. His double went to right center. His single up the middle. He scored both times. Some thunder out of the 2-hole. And here's the 1-0 pitch, and it's inside to Gomez. Gomez not chasing here early in the count. He is a first ball hitter, the likes of which pretty much unequaled. Swings at the first pitch about 50% of the time. Here's the 2-0 offering. That's way outside, and Feliz falls behind him at 3-0. Feliz came into the ballgame to face Lucroy after the Odor 2-run homer last inning. Lucroy greeted him with a homer. Then Moreland flied to the warning track to end the inning. 3-0. Feliz keeps the hands belly high in the wind, and he missed again, just outside. Didn't miss by much. Did not get a close call there from Hunter Wendelstedt, and Gomez picks up the free ticket, so Carlos has been on base all 3 times. Remember, he's not a guy who walks a lot. It's only his 2nd walk as a Ranger, his 23rd walk overall for the year. And here comes Elvis. With the 6-run lead, you doubt the Rangers would put on a running play here. In a closer game, this would be a possible hit and run or even straight steal. Gomez has a big lead. Elvis 2 RBIs. Reached on an error in the second to drive in a run, then the go-ahead double. The set, the pitch, he takes, and it's a strike over the inside corner. It's possible that Jeff Bannister would not have shut down the running game at this point in the 5th inning. It's kind of a borderline call. 0-1. The set, a throw to first. And Elvis is diving back in. And one thing you don't want to do is anything to wake up the so-called sleeping dog. Not that the Astros have been playing poorly, but you know their recent history against the Rangers. Downtrodden would be an accurate adjective. And there's a throw to first, and Gomez is back. But with a 6-run lead in the 5th inning, if you were to run here, I don't know if Jeff Bannister would be excoriated by the baseball traditionalists. There goes the runner. There's a swing and a base hit right field. They didn't shut it off, and Gomez goes to third on a perfectly executed hit and run single by Elvis. I like it.
I do too.
I say get all the runs you can anytime you can these days in the American League.
No doubt. We've seen it too many times. How quickly teams can put runs up on the board. So, absolutely, step on the other team's throat if you have to. And 6 runs as early as the 5th inning just simply isn't what it used to be.
Well, here's Mazzara. He has singled, grounded to short, and had a sacrifice fly. Infield is in. It's 9-3 Texas. There goes the runner from first. The pitch is taken. Throw to second, and Elvis slides, and he is safe. Gomez stayed at third as Elvis swipes his 21st bag of the year. Nice throw by Castro, but Elvis got a tremendous jump against Feliz.
And he did. Interesting to see Castro fire down to second base with a man at third, and then just as interesting to see Carlos Gomez stay put.
So at the infield in, a ground ball through could bring in 2. Desmond's on deck, then Beltran. Astros got a run on the top of the inning. Rangers trying to neutralize that. Here's the 0-1 offering. Mazza swinging a ground ball right to the shortstop, and the runners have to hold as Correa pegs to first. Hard hit, but right at him. The Rangers now are 2 for 11 with men in scoring position. And here's Desmond, who has double fly to right, grounded to first. The Astros, by the way, with men in scoring position, are 0 for 0. They did have a sacrifice fly in the one plate appearance.
2 for 11 with men in scoring. You'll never score any runs doing that.
A couple of home runs with runners at first base will help.
Oh.
And Desmond 1 for 3, a double. He's hit the ball hard all 3 times, and all 3 times to the right side. Here's the pitch. It's in the dirt. Nice stop by Castro. And it's ball 1. Well, Feliz was in the late inning mix early in the year, but not anymore. Giles, the closer these days, with Gregerson generally working the 8th, and Will Harris, who was an all-star and a closer at the all-star break, working the 7th now when they have a lead. And they've had a very good bullpen. 1-0. Here's the pitch. Desmond takes strike. There's that borderline call down and away. The Astros bullpen, in fact, is 8 games above 500. Their starting pitchers are only 1 game over for the year. And their bullpen is 3rd in the league in ERA. The Rangers still with the strange contradiction in stats. The highest ERA in the league, but the most wins and the most saves. How do you figure? 1 ball, 1 strike. The set and the pitch. Desmond takes low, and the count is 2-1. He's a guy who some have pictured as a future closer, some have pictured as a future starter. But he's got a tremendous arm. He also has action behind him right now. Yandal Gustave just called up today, warming up in the bullpen. 2-1. And here's the pitch. Inside, it's 3-1. First base is open. Carlos Beltran is on deck. Nine runs, 12 hits for the Rangers, 3 runs on 3 hits for the Astros. Three and 1. Here's the pitch. Ball 4. He missed down low. So Beltran will hit with the bases juiced. And the Rangers, with 3 grand slams in the month of August, after 2 in the previous 2 years, with Bobby Wilson having hit both of those. We're going to get a trip to the mound first by Brent Strom, the Astros pitching coach. Well, this game could completely get away from the Astros here. Beltre, Moreland, and Gomez, all with grand slams for the Rangers in August. Carlos already a 2-run homer today, giving him 418 for the year. He's also flied out to right and grounded to shortstop. Beltran recently passed Darrell Evans and Alfonso Soriano on the all-time home run list.
Howdy doody.
Not bad. Gomez at third, Andrews at second, Desmond at first. Here's the set and the pitch, and Beltran takes one right down the middle for a strike. You got Billy Williams next ahead of Beltran, and one ahead of Williams is this year's Hall of Fame inductee Mike Piazza, who's 49th. And then Cal Ripken. That's the company he's in now. 0-1, and that's down low. 1 ball and 1 strike. And when you look at Adrian Beltre on the home run list, he's 43rd, tied with Andre Dawson, 1 behind Paul Konerko, 2 behind Jason Giambi. 1-1 the count. 9-3 Rangers trying to bust this thing wide open. And here comes the pitch. Carlos takes low. 2-1. Breaking ball from Feliz. Pfister, the starter, lasted a season low 3 2/3. He gave up 8 runs, 7 earned on 10 hits, including 2 home runs. Now Feliz. The count is 2-1. Infield double play depth. The pitch to Carlos. Inside and low, 3-1. Feliz in danger now of walking in a run. He came into the game having walked a man every 3 innings, which is average. Allowing a lot of homers, though. 9 home runs in 57 innings. But a very high strikeout rate. 84 strikeouts in 57 innings. 3-1 count. Leverage for Beltran with the bases loaded. Adrian on deck. Here comes the pitch. Carlos takes way outside, ball 4. It's 10-3. And after not scoring in double figures for over 2 months, the Rangers have done it in back-to-back games. 3 RBIs for Beltran tonight, 78 for the year. That is one professional hitter. So Gomez, who led off the inning with a walk, crosses the plate. Elvis trots over to third, and Desmond down to second. And here's Adrian, and we've got a conference on batting. Adrian 0 for 2, but had a big 11-pitch walk last time up. Adrian already with a grand slam in the last month. Set by Hoyt. And the pitch to Adrian, and it's over for a strike, a breaking ball at his own 1. Hoyt listed at 6'6", 230 pounds. First saw the light of day in Boise, Idaho in 1986. In September, he will celebrate his 30th birthday. The set just above the belt, and the pitch to Beltran swung on and fouled back, and Adrian was cutting for the Boondocks there. What a rip he took on a 95-mile-per-hour fastball. Hoyt acquired from Atlanta along with Evan Gattis. Prior to last season, the Astros given up 3 young players in that deal, including the hard-throwing Mike Foltynewicz. Hoyt undrafted out of college. 0-2. Here's the pitch. Beltran swings and fouls it off to the right side and out of play. Hoyt actually left baseball for a while, worked on sailboats in the San Diego area. Tried out for the Yuma Scorpions in independent ball in 2011, a team that was coached by Jose Canseco. Made the team and remained with Yuma that season. Played for a couple of more independent league teams the following year, then Tabasco in the Mexican League, and signed with the Braves after the 2012 season. So quite a journey he had to get up here. He's working 0-2 to Beltran. Odor on deck, bases loaded. Here's the pitch. Swung on, slow ground ball to third base, looks like 2. Bregman steps on the bag, throws to first, and the side's retired as Beltran was jammed there on what might have been a mistake pitch, a breaking ball that didn't break. But the double play 5-3 ends the inning, and the Rangers settle for 1 run in the inning on 1 hit and leave them loaded. After 5, it's 10-3 the order, starting with Altuve, who has walked and fly to right. First pitch to Jose is high, 4-1. The walk for Altuve was the first in 11 games. He was in a 7-for-40 slump, if you can call it that. And he takes a wild cut on the curveball. AJ, according to Jared's research, has already thrown more curveballs tonight than he has in any game this year. Really keeping those Astros off stride, changing the eye level and obviously the timing. The 1-1 pitch, there's a curve that's high, and it's 2 balls and 1 strike.
Do you feel like, just anecdotally, it seems like Lucroy this year has at times taken a pitcher and made him lean on a pitch?
No doubt. You know, you talk about reading swings, reading hitters. That's a big part of it. There's a big swing and a miss on a high fastball.
He did those starts, those Martin Perez starts that were so change-up heavy.
2-2, a swing and a pop-up off the curveball. Just went curveball, fastball, curveball, and he pops him out short. Elvis makes the grab. We pause for station identification. This is the Rangers Radio Network.
This is the home of the Texas Rangers.
Hit in the air to left center field. Hit well. He's still going back, and that ball is history.
On the Texas Rangers Radio Network.
Hey, Ranger fans, you can hit it out of the park with the Texas Rangers toll tag. Available now for $19.99. Visit specialtytolltags.com for more information. Correa has singled and rolled out to shortstop. A.J. kicks and delivers. There's a fastball popped up, first base side. Moreland along the line into foul ground. Here comes Ruge into a slide, and that one out of play. Mazzara also on the scene. It's an 0-1 count, and we have renewed action in the bullpen for Houston. Left-hander Tony Sipp is up now. The Rangers have Odor, Lucroy, and Moreland due to bat in the second half of the sixth inning. 0-1 the count with Gaddis on deck. And here comes the pitch, and it is in there for a strike. It is 0-2. Boy, what a night for the Rangers. What a night for the Orioles, too, at home against the Yankees. As Correa fouls one off. They're in the top of the ninth. Orioles leading 8-0, and they have added 4 more home runs to their major league leading total. Chris Davis is 33rd. Mark Trumbo is 41st. Pedro Alvarez is 20th. And Manny Machado, his 33rd. Dylan Bundy, the Baltimore star. 0-2, curveball high. Chad Green was the unfortunate Yankee starter. He was gone in the second. Relieved by Goody, Yates, Holder, Severino, and Parker.
September baseball.
Who? And the 1-2 pitch is high. Check swing. Did he go? He did. He struck him out on a shoulder-high fastball. The call made over at first by Scott Berry. And Correa is out of there. 5 punch-outs for Griffin. And, you know, we talked about the similarities between Pfister and Griffin prior to the ball game. One big difference is that Griffin gets swings and misses from time to time. Pfister doesn't miss any bats with his extremely low strikeout rate. And Griffin able to do that. And now here's Gaddis, a sacrifice fly in the first inning, a ground out in the fourth inning. 10-3 Rangers, sixth inning, and the pitch, it's a curve, and it is low. Well, they say you need more than 2 good pitches to be a starting pitcher in the big leagues. Not tonight.
No.
Griffin back to work 1-0, and there's a foul off to the right and out of play. Griffin's scheduled to pitch again Wednesday against the Seattle Mariners. Remember, that's a 4-game series in Seattle. It'll be Hamels, Perez, Griffin, and Holland. Colby Lewis may rejoin the rotation in Anaheim next weekend. 1-1 pitch, swing and a miss on the curve. Colby will work Monday on a rehab start for Spokane. And that would put him in line to start on 4 days rest Saturday or 5 days rest Sunday at the Big A. 1 ball, 2 strikes, the count on Gaddis. This will be the 97th pitch thrown by Griffin. Working with a 10-3 lead. And here it comes, swung on and fouled back. High fastball. Well, Griffin talks very freely about the help that Lucroy has been to him. You know, A.J. likes to work rapidly, and if he has total confidence in the catcher to make the call, A.J. doesn't have to think. He can just get the ball in Mark Burley style. Burley never, ever called off a catcher. Just execute the pitch. Here's the 1-2, and that's high for a ball. Tried to get him to chase the fastball. And it's 2 balls and 2 strikes. It's got to be so much fun for a guy like A.J. to be able to do that. Bidding for his 7th win of the year tonight. He is 6-3. Here comes the pitch. Breaking ball. He just missed with the curve. And the count goes to 3 balls and 2 strikes. Now, we've talked about the 2-pitch mix. And in this inning, I'm pretty sure he hasn't thrown anything other than a fastball or a curve. I haven't seen a change or a cut. Here's the payoff pitch. Breaking ball just missed. Curve just off the plate outside. Well, there's action in the Ranger bullpen. Griffin's approaching 100 pitches. And Jeff Bannister is slowly walking out to the mound. Remember that the Rangers tend to have the sort of quick hook with Griffin that they had last year with Giovanni Gallardo. There's a change in his spin rate, they believe, somewhere between 80 and 100 pitches. And they tend to go to the bullpen earlier with him than with others. Tony Barnett and Alex Claudio are both ready in the bullpen. And again, you have reinforcements in the pen tonight, so why take a chance, especially when Griffin's going to have to pitch on struck out and flied out tonight. Rangers play an overshift, 3 on the right side. Texas leading 10-3 in the 6th inning. Claudio comes set at the letters and to the plate, way inside and low at the ankles of Rasmus, and it's ball 1. Rasmus is a 153 hitter against lefties this year, with 2 of his 13 home runs. 10-12-0 for the Rangers, 3-3-1 for the Astros. Claudio back to the plate, and a breaking ball is a strike on the inside corner. That just barely hooked the inside corner after backing Rasmus away from the plate. And the count is 1-1. In the outfield, Desmond straight away. Mazzara in the gap. Here's the pitch, and there's a deep foul. That one was crushed into the club level. Way back in the club level, but 4 sections foul. Off Claudio, 74-mile-an-hour breaking pitch. The count is 1-2.
So give us StatCast numbers on those. That was a rocket.
Wow. Gaddis, a slow runner over at first, being held on by Moreland. Here comes the 1-2 to Rasmus. Swung on, fly ball right field off the end of the bat. Easy play from Mazzara to his right. He takes care of it, and that's the inning. No runs, no hits, 1 left, middle of the 6th. 10-3 Rangers. Unlaunched a 2-run homer, his 28th of the year. The set by Sip. And here comes the pitch, and it is in there for a strike. Tony not having his best year. It's his 50th appearance. He has a 5.66 ERA, and opposing batters are hitting .320 against him. Strikes out a batter per inning. Walk rate a little bit high. Works very slowly. 0-1, and the pitch to Rugi is cut on and missed. Sip originally a 45th round pick out of Clemson by the Cleveland Indians back in 2004. At Clemson, he was both a pitcher and an outfielder. A very busy man in the postseason for the Astros last year. Pitched in all 6 of their games. Here's the 0-2, way outside and low. 1 ball and 2 strikes. He had a brilliant year, a 1.99 ERA last season. Opposing batters hit .208, so you can see how drastically different the numbers look for Tony Sip this year. 10-3 Rangers leading. It's the bottom of the 6th inning. Rangers got 2 in the 2nd to tie the game after the Astros got 2 in the 1st. Then a 7-run 4th inning broke this thing open. Each team scoring a run in the 5th. Here's the pitch, way inside and low to Rugi. It's 2-2. Gurriel, by the way, is a right-handed batter. Alex Claudio got the final out of the 6th inning. Tony Barnett was also ready. You might see Barnett come on to start the 7th. Hoyt faced the final batter of the Ranger 5th and got a double play ball from Beltran, and that's the only batter he faced. 2 balls, 2 strikes. And the pitch is way outside, a breaking ball. So Sip got ahead and now is nibbled and missed and fallen behind. And it's 3-2 on Rugi with Lucroy next and then Moreland. 3-2. The set by Sip. And the pitch. Swung on, grounded foul, past first base. Hey, join the Rangers Baseball Foundation and Medical Center Arlington this Sunday, September 4th for the 5th annual Rangers Labor Day weekend race. It's a scenic 5K course that finishes on the field, or bring the family for a 1K fun run this Sunday, September 4th. Sign up at texasrangers.com/race. You're a former track guy in college. Are you going to run on Sunday?
No, sir, I will not.
3-2, and that's very low, ball 4. Odor takes the walk. For Rugi, it's his 14th walk of the year. He's got 28 home runs and 14 walks. You don't see numbers like that very often.
No, not in this day and age. That is very unusual.
And it's 4 walks in a span of 7 batters drawn by the Rangers. There's some strange happenings today. 5 walks drawn by the Rangers in the game, and nobody has struck out.
But that's the one to me that is stunning.
So Gurriel will hold Odor to the bag. Lucroy, the batter, has singled, grounded out, and homered. Here's the set and the pitch, and Jonathan takes a strike. 8 home runs for Lucroy in 25 Ranger games, and in a couple of those games, he just had one at bat as a pinch hitter. Derek Holland goes tomorrow against Joe Musgrove. Musgrove was sensational against the Rangers in Houston a few weeks ago, wound up with no decision. Holland hasn't faced the Astros since April. 0-1, and the pitch is smashed to short on one hop. Nice backhand by Correa to second for one to first, double play. That was pretty. Correa actually dropping to a knee as he lunged to his backhand to stab that one hop smash. So the Rangers have grounded into 2 double plays in a span of 3 batters. They're leading 10-3, and Mitch Moreland is coming up next. Moreland 1 for 3 with a base hit and a run scored. You go up and down the Ranger order today. The only guy who doesn't have a hit is the captain, Adrian Beltran. He might have had the most important at bat of all, an 11-pitch walk. So it's lefty to lefty now against Moreland. Now set by Sip. And the pitch. Check swing roller. That'll be a base hit just inside the bag at third. With the overshift on, Mitch doing what you should practice doing in spring training, but nobody ever does. I'm not talking about bunting. I'm talking about a half-swing roller, and that was quite accidental, and Moreland's all smiles at first, but he has his second hit of the game. Is that so hard?
That's the play that so many teams give so many hitters. I've talked to a handful of guys with different clubs. There's assistant general managers, and they'll echo the same thing, which is, I'm not real sure why guys don't do more of that. He didn't do that on purpose, but it worked beautifully.
So with the man on, here's Gomez, 2 outs. Sip delivers, and he misses outside. Gomez has been on base all 3 times. He has scored all 3 times. A double in the second, a single in the fourth, a walk in the fifth. 10 runs, 13 hits now for the Rangers. 3 runs, 3 hits for the Stros. And a 1-ball count on Carlos. And the set by Sip. The pitch. Strike at the knees. Elvis, the on-deck batter. The Rangers today calling up a couple of position players, Brett Nicholas and Hanser Alberto, and 2 pitchers, righty Nick Martinez and lefty Yoander Mendez. Rangers expect to call up Joey Gallo and Tanner Scheppers come Tuesday. There's a swing and a miss, 1-2. The Round Rock season ends on Monday. And perhaps some others as well. With the Rangers having used 49 players already, obviously there are some candidates to return who have already been here. People like Jose Leclerc and Chichi Gonzalez among them. Jared Hoy, perhaps. 1 ball, 2 strikes. And here comes the pitch. Check swing, ball in the dirt. Did he go? He did. According to Scott Berry at first, and Gomez has struck out. No runs, 1 hit, 1 left, 6 innings in the books. It's 10.
Here we go. His first at bat after coming into play defensively last inning, and he takes the first pitch from Alex Claudio and rolls it right up the middle for a base hit. That was a fascinating look. Gurriel
had a swing
as
look.
A hitter. Yeah, great. Well,
I think he can bat 1,000.
I think, from what we've seen, no doubt. Well, he's on anyway. And the reports had been, in very limited looks at the big league level, that he can handle the bat. He can use the whole field. Hasn't flashed a lot of power yet, but that may well be on the way. Here is Jason Castro, left-handed hitter, and he takes strike 1 from Claudio. Really, the opportunity tonight for the Astros was that in falling behind as dramatically as they did early on, they've opened up the opportunity to get Gurriel that opportunity to play first. In a very low-pressure spot now, trailing by 7 runs. not so much the at-bats as it is the defense the rest of the way that they're interested in. Check swing from Castro, and he held off on a breaking ball away. It's 1-1. One of the needs for the Astros is some kind of solution at first base. It has been elusive for them. Claudio, a little bit low. 2-1 to Jason Castro, who homered in the 5th inning for the Astros. All right, well, they got 2 runs in the 1st. They got the Castro home run in the 5th, but just 4 hits total in tonight's effort. 2-1 from Alex Claudio, and that makes it 3-1. A little bit low with a pitch that Claudio meant to be at the bottom of the zone, but just a little bit too far out of it. It gives Castro now a spot here where he should be looking for his pitch. Gurriel, not much of a lead at first. The 3-1 pitch, and that's a strike. Another sinker that time elevated just a little bit more into the zone, and it's a full count. Jake Marisnick, 9th place hitter and the speedy center fielder for the Astros, waits on deck over to the left side of home plate. Moreland holding the runner at first. Now leaves the bag, and the 3-2 pitch is inside. Ball 4. Castro draws the walk. And that will get Jeff Bannister out of the dugout, and he looks like he's walking with a purpose indeed. Has already signaled to the bullpen before he got to the foul line. So that spells the end of the night for Alex Claudio. He'll leave responsible for the 2 men, 7. Well, here we go. Jake Marisnick is given away here. Kemp, the pinch hitter. So both these teams now in September with all the call-ups have plenty of options at their avail. Tony Kemp getting his first at-bat of the night. And Barnett hides that ball behind his hit. Next pitch, that one ripped down the right field line and just foul. Not a whole lot of foul ground down there well past first base where that one landed, but it did land on that dirt portion of the warning track just to the right of the foul line, and the count 1-1. Kemp is hitting .228. There's no home runs and 4 RBIs. He pinch hit on Wednesday in their win over the Oakland A's and failed in that opportunity. The pitch from Barnett runs way inside. It's 2-1. Kemp has played in 16 games this year, 7 starts, so this is a role that is fairly familiar to him. He waits left side. Pitch from Barnett. That one off the handle, popped up down the third baseline and slices away up into the seats for a foul ball. Kemp's one of those guys, you look at him and you think, woo, this guy, he's got some speed, and with the lack of power, you expect him to be a slap hitter who can really move around the bases. Really not that fast. And he is a guy who does not hit for much power. Former second baseman, more of an outfielder now. He'll set up inside on him, the 2-2. And he swings and misses that, strike 3. So Barnett gets a strikeout of the left-handed hitter. And that is out number 1. So Barnett on in relief of Alex Claudio. A.J. Griffin had the start today, went 5 2/3, gave up 3 runs on just 3 hits. Walked 3, struck out 5, hit 100 pitches. And Claudio came on to get the final out of the 6th. Now Tony Barnett. Right-hander's first pitch, and that one swung on and fouled off by Springer for strike 1. I was mentioning earlier that this is the beginning of probably the season-defining stretch for these Houston Astros. Rangers right now with the best record in the American League. A season-high 26 games over 500. 1 strike offering and Springer fouls it off. The count 0-2. But the Astros twice this year really have been left for dead. Resurrected themselves recently. They've won 10 of their last 12 games. Just swept the A's. And since late May, have the third best winning percentage in all of baseball. 4 consecutive winning months, and they just kind of hang around. They're a game back in the wild card race. 2 men out there. The pitch on the way. Springer goes down. Pops this one back of short. Out goes Andrus. In comes Gomez. Gomez calls him off and makes the catch. And that is out number 2. Runners have to hold, so Gurriel still at second. Castro is at first. Tonight's game, though, for the Astros, their first of 13 consecutive games against first-place teams. Obviously, these 3 were the Rangers, then the Indians for 3, then the Cubs for 3, and then, while back at home, well, the Rangers will come calling to Minute Maid Park for 4. Pitch to Bregman. This one hit high in the air down the right field line. Long run for Mazzara, and it bounces right next to him and up against the fence. In is Gurriel. Castro will score as well, and Bregman all the way to third on the 2-run triple. Makes it a 10-5 game on the first triple in Bregman's career. Webbo nearly caught by Mazzara. He had a long run to get after that down in the corner. And, I mean, it was maybe a foot beyond his reach at best. Not even that. I mean, that was just inches off the edge of his glove as we got a look at the replay on our in-house monitor. So a 2-run triple. Bregman now at third, and here is Jose Altuve. Altuve 0 for 2 with a walk and a run scored. First pitch from Tony Barnett. This one hit high in the air, shallow right. Mazzara coming on again and toward the line, and that one off his glove. Bounces off the turf and up into the stands. And that is an automatic, 2 bases for Altuve. An error charged to Mazzara, good for 2 bases and another run. And suddenly, don't look now, but a lot more interesting here. It's a 10-6 ball game.
It's totally a ball game now, and so unfortunate. You know, we've talked a lot about Mazzara's lack of foot speed, and on the double or the triple by Bregman, it was a factor. A guy with a little more speed would have caught it, but this one he actually got there and just missed it. The ball hit the thumb of his glove.
So, that's all for Tony Barnett. A 3-run inning so far. Altuve in scoring position, and lo and behold, after scoring 10 early runs and opening up a huge lead for the Astros, Altuve out at second base. Carlos Correa is the hitter. And short right-hander Matt Bush to the plate. There's a swing and a miss at a fastball clocked at 97 miles per hour. Bush 6-2 with a .285 earned run average. And this the 46th appearance of the year for him. Opponents hitting just .208 against Matt Bush. 2 away. Altuve with a walking leadoff second. The 1-strike offering, and that one is a little bit low. Another fastball. And another 97 posted on the scoreboard out in right field. Carlos Correa, last year's Rookie of the Year in the American League. And he surged in the second half to put up some pretty good numbers again. 1-1. He shoots it over to the right side, foul and out of play. Well, with 90 RBIs, his next home run will be his 20th of the year. That's another very big year for the young shortstop in just his second big league season. At the moment, Matt Bush wants to put him away and put an end to this 7th inning. 1-2 the count. Here's the pitch. There's a swing, and that ball hit out to left field. Gomez coming on, and he'll make the chest-high grab to end the inning. 3-run score for the Astros, and they'll leave a man in scoring position. It's 10-6. Rangers. Stave, right-hander out of the Dominican Republic, comes on to pitch for the Astros. Stave, 23 years old, and he fires a fastball right off the outside corner for ball one. Stave, 6'2", 210 pounds, just his fourth appearance of the year, recalled today as the Astros expanding their rosters for September. The count goes to 2-0 as he misses again outside. He's got a live arm. The last fastball at 97. Winds up again, and this time too tight on Andrus, and it's 3-0. Crowded him that time. In danger of walking the first man he sees tonight. Gustave, the fifth pitcher of the night for the Astros. He's ready, hands together with the belt, and comes to the plate. Inside again, and that's ball four. It puts Andrus on to start the seventh. Well, the walks have really piled up tonight for these Astros pitchers. That's the sixth offered so far tonight. Gustave, we call from AAA. This is his second go-round with the club. Pitched in 3 games previously. That was back in mid-August, in the first pitch in there for a strike to Nomar Mazara. Mazara, left-handed batter against this hard-throwing right-hander. At AAA, Gustave was 3-3 with a 379 earned run average. Struck out 55 batters in 47 appearances. Mazara swings over the top of a slider. That makes the count 0-2. Infield double play depth. Gurriel holding the runner at first. A 2-strike pitch. That one's buried off that inside corner. In the count, a ball and 2 strikes. So the Rangers with a 7-run fourth inning tonight. They really opened this game up. Took control of it after the Astros had scored the first 2 runs of the game. And it looked like they might just handle the Astros once again quite easily tonight. Runner leading the 1-2 pitch. That's way outside. 2-2 the count. What has happened, however, is that the Astros have fought their way back in it. Now, it's still a 4-run Rangers lead, but there is collateral damage to the Astros getting as close as they have in this one, and that is that Jeff Bannister has had to use Matt Bush tonight. Next pitch to Mazara is a little bit outside, and it is now a full count. So a walk to Andrus on 4 pitches, and now Mazara has battled here to make it a full count with Ian Desmond waiting on deck over to the right of home plate. Andrus with a good lead over there at first. 3-2 pitch, he's going. The pitcher called strike, and now Andrus hung up. He'll stop halfway, head back to first. The throw goes to Gurriel. He'll put the tag on Andrus, and that's a double play. Wow. They'll strike him out, throw him out. 2-6-3 caught stealing. Andrus would have been out by several steps, like 4 or 5 steps at second base, had he just continued to run. So, his best opportunity maybe just to get in a run down there. But now the bases are empty for Ian Desmond in the first pitch on the way. And that one finds the inside corner for a strike. Now, the point with Matt Bush, though, simply is that when you have an opportunity to avoid some of the big arms in the bullpen, Jeff Bannister would like to take advantage of that. One strike offering. There's a swing and a miss. Desmond in a hole 0-2. Last year, the scene was so totally reversed from what it is this year, where the Rangers had to claw and scrap their way back in night after night. And the back end of that bullpen got worked so heavily in September. 2-strike pitch. There's a swing and a miss, and there goes Desmond on a strikeout to in the 7th, and so Gustave comes in and gets a couple of punch-outs in the 7th. We go to the 8th. It's still the Rangers 10, the Astros 6 on the Texas.
Offer and pricing details. Model customers will qualify. Offer valid in the Lexus Southern area only and in September 6th, 2016.
Rangers lead by 4 as we move it along to the 8th inning, and here's Eric Nadel.
All right, thanks very much, Dave. The first pitch to Evan Gattis is a curve over his head from Matt Bush, ball 1. Gattis is 0 for 1, a sacrifice fly and a walk. 10-6 Rangers. They've out hit the Astros 13-5, and the pitch is in there for a strike. Well, the Rangers have had by far the most opportunities. They've gone 2 for 12 with men in scoring position. The Astros have gone 1 for 5. All their opportunities coming in the last inning. 1-1 pitch and a high foul off to the right and out of play. Gattis to be followed by Rasmus and Reed. And there is action out in the Rangers' pen with lefty Jake Diekman throwing. 10-13-1 for the Rangers. 6-5-1 for the Astros. The Rangers have left 7 and the Astros have stranded 4. Rangers had a 3-home run 4th inning. Beltran and Odor 2-run shots and Luke Roy is solo. Here's the 1-2 pitch, fouled back. Griffin, the pitcher of record for Texas, gave up 3 runs in 5 2/3. Pfister, the pitcher of record for Houston, was knocked out in the 4th inning. 8 runs, 7 earned on 3 2/3 innings. The Rangers have followed with Claudio, Barnett, and Bush. The Astros with Feliz, Hoyt, Sip, and Gustave. 1-2, and here's the pitch. Check swing. Did he go? He did not. And a breaking ball from Bush. And the count is 2-2. A 3:05 start tomorrow will feature left-hander Derek Holland against righty Joe Musgrove. And then Yu Darvish Sunday at 2:05 against righty Colin McHugh. 2 balls, 2 strikes, and here's the pitch, outside and low. If you joined us late, Dallas Keuchel isn't pitching in this series because he needs some extra days. And the fact that he hasn't pitched very well in this ballpark perhaps made A.J. Hinch's decision a little easier, but they moved him to the back of the line in their rotation. Payoff pitch, swinging a bounding ball to short. Elvis waits on a chest-high hop, pegs to first, and there's one away in the top of the 8th. The game brought to you in part by MLB.TV Premium, the #1 live streaming sports service. It delivers everything you've come to expect and more. Watch every out-of-market game live in HD on over 400 supported devices. It includes a free subscription to At-Bat Premium, the #1 app for live baseball. Blackout and other restrictions apply. Visit MLB.TV for details. Now Colby Rasmus. He is 0 for 3. That's my goal in life. When I retire from this job, I want to be the guy who does those disclaimers at the end of commercials. See how fast we can talk.
Love it.
I'm practicing. Pitch to Rasmus, a swing and a miss. And the count is 0-1. Gurriel is the on-deck batter in the spot that A.J. Reed had previously occupied. The Astros have brought Gurriel and Kemp off the bench today. The Rangers have not made any changes in their position players. Here's the 0-1 delivery, and it's pulled foul on the ground over to the Rangers dugout, and the count is 0-2 on Rasmus. Well, Houston came in here hot, having won 10 out of 12. And remember their awful start. They were 17-28, and since then they've played 20 games above 500 at 54-34. 0-2, and here's the pitch, and that's high for a ball.
They really are like the opposite of last year. Last year they had that wonderful start and then just treaded water for like the last 5-6 months of the year.
Yeah,
at best.
Tried to hold on the rest of the year. And in September they went 13-17 and didn't quite hold on. Here's a 1-2 offering and a ground ball pulled foul behind first base. And of course they won the second wild card last year. And they had a legitimate ace to pitch the wild card game. One of the issues they have this year is if they do make the wild card game, who would pitch that one game? Would Doug Fister pitch it, or would they go with Keuchel, even though he's had an erratic year? 1-2. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. It's in the dirt. It's dug out by Lucroy and gunned to first to complete the strikeout. 2 outs. Rangers leading 10-6. The Astros had a 3-run 7th inning to get back into this game. And the final run they scored in that inning, the one they scored off Barnett, was an unearned run. And here comes Yulieski Gurriel, who singled up the middle in his first at bat back in the 7th inning. Gurriel now 8 for 23 in the big league. He's hitting about 340. No homers and 2 runs batted in. Has not hit with a lot of power, though. All of his hits singles except for a couple of doubles. In Cuba, he did hit with power. In fact, he did everything in Cuba. I saw him play there many times. And after Abreu and Cespedes left, he was by far the best player in Cuba. It was unanimous as to who was the best player there. Now it's anybody's guess. The pitch is in there for a strike. The most home runs he ever hit in a Cuban season was 30. And keep in mind, it's a 90-game season. So that's like hitting over 50 in a full season here. But regularly had over 20 home runs in his first 10, 11 years. 0-1. There's a bounding ball left side. It's through. And Yulieski Gurriel is 2 for 2 as he threaded the needle between Beltran and Andrews. 10-6 Rangers leading, and Castro coming up. That's the first hit allowed by Bush. You've got Diekman ready in the bullpen. You've got the manager on the way to the mound, and let's see if we're going to get a pitching change here. Gurriel played his first 12 years in his hometown, Sancti Spiritu, then was moved to the Havana team Industrialis. Remember, the government owns all the teams. You're not really traded the way you're traded here, but his dad was in the hospital. His dad, a former Cuban national team member as well, was in the hospital in Havana, and they allowed Gurriel. 10-6 game. There's a runner at first base, Gurriel with 2 outs. As Hernandez bats for Castro. Castro was 1 for 2 with a home run and a walk. Tony Kemp, the on-deck batter. 10-13-1 for the Rangers. 6-1 for the Astros. And here's the pitch to Hernandez, and it bends in for a strike. First pitch slider at 86 miles per hour. Houston got 2 in the first, Rangers 2 in the second, and then a 7-run Ranger 4th inning. The big story in this ballgame. Home runs by Beltran, Odor, and Lucroy, and a go-ahead double by Elvis. A 1 pitch, swing and a miss. It is 0-2. Hey, right now at participating Burger King restaurants, you can get 2 crust sandwich breakfast sandwiches for just $4. Only at Burger King. Price and participation vary. Restrictions apply. The crowd getting behind Diekman, and we got a good crowd here tonight with a big fireworks show to follow. 0-2. The set, the pitch. Fastball just inside. Let's check in with Jared.
Well, guys, the White Sox all over the Twins, 11-4. What's notable in this one, Todd Frazier hit his 35th home run. That's the most by a primary third baseman in White Sox history. One more than Robin Ventura, his manager, who once hit 34 for the White Sox.
Wow. 1-2. Here's the pitch. It's way outside. And it's 2 balls and 2 strikes. Been a disappointing year for the White Sox, who had that tremendous month of April. So 2-2 now on Hernandez. The on-deck batter is Tony Kemp. He's a left-handed batter. It's doubtful he would face Diekman. And here's the pitch. It's fouled back. Marwin Gonzalez, their valuable utility guy, has a hamstring issue. He's a switch hitter, and doubtful whether he would be used tonight. Perhaps just to take a pinch hit at bat, he would.
And we may not see him at all this weekend. There's some grumblings that it may be several days before he sees the light of day again.
2-2. Here comes Diekman, and he missed outside. It's 3-2 on Hernandez. Some finals in from the National League. Braves beat the Phillies 8-4. Brewers beat the Pirates 1-0. The Pirates, of course, very much alive in the wild card hunt. 2.5 games behind the Cardinals for the second wild card. Keone Kela is up in the Rangers bullpen now. Nationals beat the Mets 4-1. The Mets currently 2 games behind the Cardinals in the wild card race, or at least before they lost tonight, with Syndergaard taking the loss. Full count. And the payoff pitch, and Hernandez walks. The pitch is inside, ball 4. First and second, 2 outs. Tony Kemp is called back. Let's pause for station identification on the Rangers radio network.
This is the home of the Texas Rangers.
Hit in the air to left center field, hit well. He's still going back, and that ball is history.
On the Texas Rangers radio network.
Tyler White is going to pinch hit for Kemp. White, the big right-handed batter who won the starting first base job in spring training, was unable to hold it as the Astros have gone through a slew of first basemen this year. Marwin Gonzalez has actually been the most used starting first baseman for Houston. Doug Brocail goes trotting out to talk to Diekman about how to work to White, who's a .209 hitter in 211 at-bats. 7 homers, 23 RBIs. He's 1 for 5 as a pinch hitter. Well, this game has gotten far too close for comfort. 10-6 with 2 men on and 2 outs here in the 8th inning. McKellar just about ready in the Ranger bullpen. The game brought to you by the United Association of Union Plumbers, Fitters, Welders, and Service Technicians, providing a skilled workforce in the pipe trades, and through the Veterans in Piping program, helping our returning heroes find rewarding careers. White had a tremendous spring and an incredible first week in the big leagues, but it's kind of been downhill ever since for him. The set by Diekman, and the pitch, breaking ball, misses inside and low. White, a 33rd round pick out of Western Carolina in 2013. And beat out John Singleton and others to be the starting first baseman on opening day. Was the AL Player of the Week the first week. 1-0. And the pitch to White, breaking ball low, and it's 2-0. Diekman has major command issues tonight. They, of course, have come and gone for him over the second half of the season. White in that first week went 10 for 15, and then fell off to a .200 batting average in the month of May and found himself back in the minors. He was primarily a third baseman in the minors, but playing first base here. He's ahead 2-0 in the count. Diekman comes home, and there's a long drive, left center field. Deep in the alley goes Desmond. He's at the wall. He leaps. He can't get it. It's off the wall, and 2 runs score. White goes to second with a double, and the Rangers' lead is cut to 10-8. So, things continuing to unravel tonight for the Rangers' bullpen. 4 guys have gone to the mound, and they've all given up runs. And Jeff Bannister is coming out to get Jake Diekman, and with George Springer coming up, Keone Kela is being summoned. What was a 10-3 lead is now a 10-8 lead. And here comes Kela charging in from the pen with a pitching change back after this on the Rangers radio network.
It's playlist shuffling. Windows wide open. It's a midnight run for tacos al pastor.
And here comes the pitch, and it is low for a ball. Well, anybody who thought the Astros were just going to cave in when they fell far behind, they were sadly mistaken here tonight. Got to give them credit for fighting their way back into the ball game. And of course, a Mazzara dropped fly ball in the 7th inning gave them a gifted run. And Diekman's inability to get the ball over the plate was a factor, too. He had to groove a 2-0 fastball, and it was hit well. 1-0. Here's the pitch. It's very high, and it's 2 balls and no strikes. Ranger relievers constantly falling behind here tonight. It's happened to all of them. Claudio, Barnett, Bush, Diekman. .2-0 on Springer. This guy's got 25 home runs this year. And Lucroy goes trotting out to the mound.
Yeah, he's their leadoff hitter, and yet he is also their biggest power threat. I mean, he is, gets 6 leadoff home runs this year, but 25 home runs lead this team. The story tonight, too, has been the bottom of their order. Their bottom 3 spots, 4 for 9 with a couple of walks, 5 runs, and 3 RBIs. A part of the order, they rarely, if ever, get any production.
It's a 2-0 count on Springer. Here's the pitch from Kela. That's a mile high. It's 3-0, not even close to being a strike. And this big crowd getting pretty restless right now. See if Springer is cutting here 3-0, trying to tie this game. Rangers still have 4 outs to get and only a 2-run lead. 3-0. Strike just barely at the bottom of the zone. That pitch has not been a strike often tonight. And somehow Hunter Wendelstedt gives that call to Kella, and it's 3-1. 98-mile-an-hour fastball. Coney leans back in. Comes to the belt. And here's the pitch. Swing and a grounder foul past third base. Now, this is the sort of game where the lack of Jeremy Jeffress is really hurting the Rangers. Jeffress would have already been in this game, and maybe he would have been the guy who would have restored some order. Although if you can't throw strikes out of the bullpen, you're probably not going to get the job done. Fans were waving white rally towels tonight. Here comes the payoff pitch. Springer takes high and inside ball 4. That wasn't even close. So Bregman will bat with the tying runs at first and second, and he's the go-ahead run. And he has a home run and a 2-run triple tonight. He's 2 for 4. The game brought to you by Capital One Bank, official bank of the Texas Rangers. Lucroy makes another trip to the mound to talk to Keone Kella. Kella last time had an outstanding outing on Monday against Seattle. Worked an inning and a third. He retired all 4 men he faced. He struck out 2 of them. Working in that case with a 3-run lead. Altuve is on deck if Bregman keeps this inning going. If not, Altuve leads off the 9th. 10-8 Rangers. The pitch. Over for a strike. A fastball away at 97 miles an hour. Ranger pitchers have thrown 155 pitches here tonight. And there's a strike, and the count is 0-2. Now Griffin threw the first 100 of the pitches. The bullpen has thrown the rest. Barnett did a good job throwing strikes. Again, he would have been out of his inning if Mazzara had caught a fly ball. Bush threw 13 strikes out of 18, but Diekman and Kella have struggled. But Kella's ahead now 0-2, working with a 2-run lead. The outfield very deep, playing no doubles. And the pitch is swung on, popped up. This should end the inning. Odor out, Mazzara in. Who's going to take it? Ruge, and he makes the catch back to the infield, a play on which the right fielder should certainly have called him off and didn't. But Odor went way out there, Roberto Alomar style, and made the catch to finally end the 8th inning. The Astros came up with 2 runs. Why did it seem like more? On 2 Texas dealers, it's the Rangers 10, the Astros 8. Sam Dyson's up in the Ranger bullpen, and Chris Davinsky is on the mound for the Astros. He's had a spectacular rookie season. A couple of starts, but primarily in relief. Here's Carlos Beltran against the righty, and the pitch is over for a strike. Davinsky 2-4 with a 2.22 ERA. This is 39th appearance. Opposing batters hitting just 209. They're overshifting Beltran, 3 on the right side, and the pitch to Carlos misses for a ball. Beltran, a 2-run homer and a bases-loaded walk, 3 RBIs, officially 1 for 3. Evan Gattis is catching now. They've given up their DH. 1-1 pitch. That's in for a strike, 1-2. Teoscar Hernandez stays in the game in center. Colby Rasmus moves back to left. And the pitcher, Davinsky, is now in the number 9 spot in their batting order. 1 ball, 2 strikes, and here's the pitch. A swing and a ground ball into the shift. Fielded by Correa to his left. He whips it to first, and there's 1 out. Altuve is going to lead off the 9th for the Astros against Dyson, you would presume. Then Correa and Gattis. The pitcher spot is due 7th in the inning, and unless they've got somebody who I'm unaware of, they're out of potential pinch hitters other than Marwin Gonzalez, who's got a bad hamstring. Beltre's the batter. Adrian with a walk in 4 trips. He's 0 for 3, but that walk was a big one. 11-pitch walk in the 4th inning that set the stage for the 2 home runs. Ball 1 to Adrian. Overshift on, and the pitch is a strike on the outside corner. 1 ball and 1 strike. So Dyson, who has 30 saves, 4th in the league, getting ready to pitch the 9th inning. Here's the pitch. Swung on and skied to center field. Coming on hard for the ball is Hernandez. Coming over from right field, it's Springer, and he captures it. A hitless night for Adrian Beltran. And with 2 outs, here's Beltran and Odor. Odor with a 2-run homer in the 4th inning. Also a double, a walk, and a ground out. He's 2 for 3. He has 4 homers, 9 RBIs in his last 3 ball games. Jonathan Lucroy is the on-deck batter. Two rather quick outs for Davinsky in the 8th, with the Rangers leading 10-8. Here's the pitch, and a bouncing ball to second base. High hop for Altuve, flings it underhand to first, a 1-2-3 inning for Davinsky. And we're going to the 9th. It is Sam Dyson time. Rangers 10, Astros 8 on the Texas Rangers Radio Network.
Geico has been saving people money and providing great service on car insurance for over 75 years. In fact, when Geico was started, I wasn't even a glimpse.
To 4th in the league in saves behind Zach Britton, Francisco Rodriguez, and David Robertson. He'll face the heart of the order, Altuve, Correa, and Gaddis for the Astros. Altuve is hitless tonight. He's 0 for 3 and a walk. And he is now 7 for his last 43. Rangers have held him just below 300 for the year. And that's quite an achievement. Dyson from the set. And here's the pitch, and a ground ball hit right to Beltran. He's got it, sidearms to first, 1 pitch, and Altuve is out. Well, that's a big out to start the inning without Altuve getting on base. Remember, his on-base percentage this year on the road is almost .500. But Dyson disposes of him quickly. And now it's Correa, who is 1 for 4 with a single. Correa taking his time getting into the box right here. Against Sam Dyson, he is 1 for 8 in his 2-year big league career. Altuve now 1 for 5 off. Pitch to Correa, fouled off to the right side. Dyson, of course, with that power sinker, a changeup and a slider. He sports an ERA of 2.73, a 1-2 record, and this is a team high 63rd appearance. Ryan Presley, the league leader for Minnesota, had 63 when the day started. 0-1 the count. Gaddis on deck. Here's the pitch. Fastball just missed. After Gaddis, Colby Rasmus, if we're still playing. 10 runs, 13 hits for the Rangers, 8 runs, 7 hits for the Astros before a crowd of 35,102. Dyson reading Lucroy and coming set. And here's the pitch to Correa, just outside. Rangers playing him almost straight away. Harugi is shaded slightly toward the middle at second. Moreland plays off the line about 20 feet. Beltran straight up at third, Elvis straight up at short, and the outfield straight away. It's a 2-1 count on Correa. And here comes the pitch, and a dribbler hit foul on the third base side. The count 2 balls and 2 strikes. Griffin, Claudio, Barnett, Bush, Diekman, Kella, and Dyson. That's been the pitching parade for the Rangers. Pfister, Feliz, Hoyt, Sip, Gustave, and Davinsky for the Astros. The Rangers have used 7, and the Astros have used 6. Everybody well rested after the day off yesterday. The set by Dyson, and the 2-2 pitch popped up near the mound. In comes Harugi with the call and the catch. There are 2 outs. Dyson really got into Correa's kitchen there. And here's Evan Gaddis trying to get aboard for Colby Rasmus. Gaddis, who began the game as the DH, finishing the game as the catcher. That pitch ran way off the plate. If Correa hadn't hit it, I believe it would have hit him in the right thigh. Wow.
You almost don't know how he hit that.
You can't get jammed any more severely than that. The crowd is up. It's 10-8 Texas. Here's the pitch. Gaddis takes. It's a strike on the inside corner. Borderline pitch. Boy, Hunter Wendelstadt's been a little unpredictable tonight on those corner calls. And Gaddis is shaking his head back and forth. He's 1 for 7 lifetime off Dyson. Trying to save an at bat for Rasmus at the tying run. 0-1, and here it comes, and Gaddis takes a strike on the outside corner, and I bet the complaint on the first pitch cost him the second pitch. As that pitch may have been outside, and the count is 0-2. Two pitches that easily could have made it a 2-0 count have made it an 0-2 count. And the Astros are down to their final strike. The set by Dyson. And the pitch, breaking ball, struck him out looking, the ball game's over. Buckled his knees with a slider, and the Rangers have won it 10-8. Back with the happy totals after this on the Texas Rangers Radio Network.
$10. That's all it takes to get in the game on Tuesday the 20th when your Rangers host the Angels. Cash in on our $10 Tuesday special and get seats in the upper reserved and upper box sections for this low price. We're going $10 crazy with parking and a special online meal deal, all for the same price. Sounds like a steal of a deal.
Runner on the move. The pitch is in for a strike. Throw it under second base. Desmond slides, holds the bag. He's safe at second.
Visit TexasRangers.com/specials to learn more about this special $10 Tuesday offer.
Planting a tree, installing a fence, building a deck. Whatever digging projects you have planned, make sure calling 811 is part of them. Contact Lone Star 811 at least 2 days before you dig, and we'll notify the utilities in your area so you can dig safely. Look for the Lone Star, Lone Star 811. For more information, visit us online at lonestar811.com.
Papa John's! Papa John's!
Boss, what's going on out there?
Kid, you're about to experience your first Rangers 7 frenzy. The day after the Rangers score 7 runs or more, everyone gets